what's up, everybody? Gobble, gobble. Listen, let's get right into this. We got to talk about what's going on with Sean Diddy. I'm sure y'all been all over YouTube, Al Gore's internet, at the TikTok, Instagram, and back here again. Y'all, first of all, can we just talk about the elephant in the room or the assault charges in the room? Y'all, Diddy is going down. You know that girl, I'm sure you heard, that filed charges against him and Aaron Hall, right? Aaron Hall has been exposed. Actually, he wasn't exposed. Aaron Hall was literally on talk show after talk show for over a decade, talking about what a little demon child he was, and had all the talk show hosts giggling when basically he was describing all this crazy stuff. But Aaron Hall literally pretty much admitted, well, let's just say Aaron Hall, Carisha Diddy. So remember how with Gina Hung and Carisha went in on her on Instagram talking about, you a munch, you be doing this and that. He just bring you, if Diddy told you to get on your knees right now, you would. And she was reading Gina. But then when Cassie's lawsuit came out, everybody was like, so all this is true. And Diddy said it within 24 hours. Well, Aaron Hall was doing show after show, talk show after talk show, talking about, yeah, I be effing these. You want to talk about Dubai, close your eyes. You in Dubai. And I'm like, ugh. What is, first of all, I was like, a woman sleeping with Aaron Hall. Looks wise, no, right? But it could just because his soul's so evil. I can't see by it. But the things he be talking about, and he be talking crazy, I was like, how much money would somebody give you to sleep with this man? But then as the show went on, I realized these girls just want to sleep with you because you broke. And that's when I said, wow, 90s R&B must have had like crack in it. Because how do you look at someone that look like that act like that address you as that? And he talking about something, when I come in the room, every guy around me got to see me F. And I'm like, baby, you ain't got a lot to kick it. Do you want me just to step outside? Do you want me to, something tells me when they be pulling those trains, it's not the woman, it's the fact that that's the closest you can come to your homeboy without anybody knowing. I don't know. It's giving very in the closet. It's giving very, I can't be gay. I've slept with women. I can't be gay. That's what it's giving. Right? But also, everybody, I hope your holidays were really, really good. We'll talk about that in a second. Y'all see my battle scars. I got burnt. It's not a Thanksgiving unless you don't get burnt pulling something out the oven when everybody's telling you to wear the mitts. And you're like, oh, shut up. I don't need the, they jinx me. Anyway, let's get back to the Aaron Hall thing. So the Aaron Hall thing, again, did not this R&B have crack in it? I really want to know what was in that R&B that you would look and listen and talk to. He said he got a tattoo under his rib talking about some warning because he be like killing people with his thing. And I'm like, and the way he says it, it's just like, gives the ick, gives the God. You don't need birth control when Aaron Hall's around. You're just like, please, nobody touch me ever. Thank you. I'm fine, right? If you want to get down on one of pregnancies in the U.S., sex ed, you don't got like all that. No. Just literally play Aaron Hall's interview and zoom in and just listen to the evil bubbling up in the soul. Also, that dummy, you know how they know all those people from the 90s. It was a wild time. There is interview. We're going to get into them. Thank you, 90s. Interview after interview after interview of all those mofos telling on themselves one after another. So Diddy got the lawsuit saying him and Aaron Hall basically ran trains, great people, did all this stuff. And then Aaron Hall is on videos talking about him, Diddy, and Jodeci. Somebody bring them to the front of the congregation. Him, Diddy, and Jodeci. And, they know because they was in the room watching. And I was like, I want to know something. Because when he said it, we're going to get into other stuff. But let me just say this. Because when I heard this, I had questions. I said, what? Now, granted, I have never partaken in watching any of my friends or loved ones do the hokey pokey. I will admit, I am of a simpler time. I have simpler delights. I have never wanted to watch my friends do the hokey pokey. But I sat there when I was watching Aaron Hall's interview, dry heaving, if you will, dry heaving. And literally, because I was in the middle of, I was like doing my research because I wanted to bring out something juicy. You guys, also my videos are up. I realize nobody cares, but if you want to watch them, that'd be nice, right? I did work over the holiday weekend. I know y'all don't give a damn, but I just thought we family now, right? I can ask for stuff. Y'all can tell me shut the F up. It's cool, right? So, I'm eating my food and he's talking, and the more he gets into it, I'm like, I get mad because I had to put my fork down, like, God, right? So now I'm like, what is that? For now I hate him. Now I just can't stand him because he ruined my appetite. The leftover plate was good. He was giving me the ick. And at one point I'm like, oh, you gonna make this food come up? Because I have a weak stomach, right? So I'm just like, what is this fool talking about? But then my mind, the story. And it was the thing that got me was why he was saying this. And I'll tell you what he was saying. He was like, yeah, because if a bee wanted that, I'm going to destroy her. And I'm like, okay, security. Ooh, child, security. That's all I heard, right? Right? So then, he was like, yeah, because every guy, I ain't like no, what did he say? So delicate cupcake, effing ninja. I be putting it in. I make sure everybody got to watch me F. And I've literally been like, why is this giving me Ada BC from Oz, first season, Did you guys ever watch Oz? Oh, God. It was giving me Ada BC from Oz first season. And I was just like, why so violent with this, right? Still can't eat any food, right? So then I pushed my plate away and I said, all these mofos in the studio giggling and this and that, and we should have known. But did you ever think about the scene he described? Think about it. So because my food was in front of me, I'm like, so let me get this straight. You making sure everybody, like you in the Roman Colosseum about to take a lion down, you making sure everybody, are y'all looking? Right? Hit me the second I just want to run, right? Okay, shut up, right? It's late, but let me get on point, right? So I'm like, you acting like you in the Roman Colosseums and you giving it. First of all, in my mind, just even picturing his words, I'm like, so what's the girl doing? What is she doing? Attention. And what is the girl doing? And that's when it hits me. The girl doesn't seem like she is an active or even conscious player. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, this is already dark because there ain't no woman in the world, or maybe there is, but I doubt it, that is going to sit there, that you're not paying her, that's going to sit there while you call a group of mofos over to watch you. F her. Not just F her, but kill her with the, right? XI, kill her with the fuck, Okay. Then you talking about other people be taking you shopping, doing this and that. You talking about Dubai. B, close your eyes. I'm going to take you to Dubai now. And I said, so you broke. So y'all probably in a trap house. Probably if they over your house, they know nothing luxurious. You probably one of those guys that got an old Oriental rug on top of carpet. The kind you get from Wayfair for $39.99. And you get it and don't even look like a regular, look like a computer digigraph dip. You just got it out of Pokemon. You got that rug on top of it and got one lounge recliner and a mattress on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our first apartments. But my whole point of the matter is I'm just like, so you broke, probably looked like a trap house. Carpet probably had the smell in it from 4 tenants earlier. So already I'm like, what? So then he said he got Diddy, blah, blah. And I thought, again, it is not in my proclivities to watch my friends do the hokey pokey. I have never desired. But when I finally was in that situation where I had to think and imagine, I said, what were those men doing? Were they eating popcorn? Were they sharing Chex Mix? Were they cheering you on? Were they joining in? Were they diddling themselves? What were those men doing? The 90s were a wild time. But then I thought, why don't all those men have charges against them? Because I would imagine that even if I agreed against the rules of heaven, hell, and all the rules in the hate convention on this earth, even if I agreed to let Aaron Hall defile me, because that's what he does. He defiles. Something wrong with that man. He defiles. Somebody check his basement to see if there have been any missing sex workers in the last 10 years in the 5 surrounding area codes. And everywhere, check his passport. That boy ain't going anywhere. He broke. That's why he mad. Talking about, close your eyes, we going to Dubai. Ugh, right? I mean, slavery did get outlawed in the Middle East, like in the from 1973 to 1982. I think Oman was the last place to outlaw slavery in 1982. So I guess we are going to Dubai, right? But anyway, it's kind of like that man. Somebody check his basement. There's bodies down there. I think there's something wrong. If any DA or U.S. attorney wants to make their case, sit back and be like, yeah, send somebody over to Aaron's Hall house. And they're like, no, I'm going to go. It always smells like food and he ain't cooked anything in the last year. You're going to people's houses. And it always smells like food, but not good food. Like, ooh, can I have a plate? Food, like, ew, what was y'all cooking in here? And it sounded like the grease is in the walls from like 3 years ago when somebody was making like, I don't know. So anyway, right? Listen, okay, fine. We're going to get serious in a second, but literally just follow. This is my thought process. So I was like, okay, Aaron Hall, you doing this, you doing that. But what were the men doing? And getting back to the thing about all those men getting charges, because even if I agreed to let this mofo defile me while I'm smelling like carpet that smell like 100,000-year-old Cheetos, even if I agree to do that, did you agree to have Diddy there, Jodeci, all that stuff? Y'all, listen. Before we change the subject to Carisha, Diddy's kids, and a bunch of other stuff about the way there might be men coming out to sue him. You know, one thing that I think everybody's missing, right? The Cassie stuff was interesting. And by interesting, I mean, it gave me life, like good. And the funny thing is we are now seeing, as much as people want to be like, oh my God, Cassie should have did this. Somebody says, I swear listening to Aaron Hall talk in interviews. Exactly. It's like, I wonder what these women look like. I'm like, are you standing outside rehabilitation centers and before people go in to give their life to God, you like, yo, come here, sweet thing. Like, I don't know, like, are women starving and you standing around the corner, like making like a bread trail of Crunch and Munch, you know, the butter toffee kind with the peanuts. It's like really yummy, just not the almonds. You got to get the, just throwing it and making them come on. Like, who are these women? I want to see these women. Let them be named. Let them be named. Because even if it wasn't coerced, why? What was the mixtape really that banging? Like, what fantasy do you have in life that you want to bet this man? And shouldn't you get new fantasies? Surely there is an artist that has come out since then. Surely. Like, so anyway, right? Ugh, he's just disgusting. Thank you so much collectively for the super chat, by the way. But let's take a moment of collective ick. Y'all drop a 1 in the chat or a yucky emoji just so we send it into universe. Maybe we'll save somebody's life. I don't know. Just ick. It's like, you know, people give you the ick. He, like, even his demeanor just gave me the ick. And then you find out that it's not your imagination. You know, your intuition is like ick. And then the more they start talking, it's like, oh, my intuition, you dangerous. I would have just walked across the street, but you giving like Silence of the Lambs. You giving like Tom Petty, Last Dance with Mary Jane. You giving necrophilia, like, you know, necromongery. And that's when you raise them from the dead. Necrophilia. What is it when you like doing the hokey pokey with dead people? Necrophilia? I think that's what it is, right? Anyway, he giving necrophilia. Anyway, right? So Aaron Hall, back to that. That's a charge right there. And the thing, here's the gag. Sorry, I got this ick. Here's the gag, right? And you know what? If you guys want, we can do a call in later. Before I go, you know, I'll give y'all 5 minutes to call in. Be like, gotta go. Anyway, y'all, here's the gag with Aaron Hall. 1, he basically exposed that everything that girl said in the lawsuit actually happened. 2, I want to see that man get up on trial and try to say, no, she wanted this D. And you know he would say something stupid like that because he got that type of mentality. He is so wrapped up in his little sick world that I can see him being like, she wanted that D, Your Honor. You want some too. Like, I hope the woman ain't, the judge ain't a woman because, so anyway, a lot of people think that now that the 24th has expired, that Diddy isn't going to have any more charges. To which I say, you guys, that was for old mess. When Diddy was up and coming, when Diddy really didn't have any power, when Diddy wasn't Diddy. However, do you guys know that for Grape, for this, for that, for statute of limitations in New York, he is at the peak of his power. There are still a lot of people that can bring criminal claims and real claims against them for things that have happened in the last 3 to 7 years. And if I'm not mistaken, Grape might even be a little bit more. So all his old stuff is coming out. Can you imagine what people are saying is in Diddy's closet now that he has power? What they can get against him. Now, the real question is, who did he piss off? Because as much as people want to say like, oh my God, Cassie, she should have stayed in the game and fought for other survivors. She did what needed to be done. But do you see how now when Cassie said this, Diddy settled with her? Everybody in the industry was on mute. I am 100% convinced that industry is rotten to the core. Or at the very least, the people at the top are into some sick stuff. And the thing is, if the people at the top are the sick stuff, that means they hire people that didn't say. It's like me. I like sweet stuff. I like talking trash. I like this. Of course, if I hire somebody where there's a personal component in it, I'm going to hire somebody. I'm like, come on, let's go get some dessert. Let's go do this. I'm going to hire somebody that's into the same thing I'm into. I'm going to hire people that are into like lipstick or eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, I'm going to hire people that got the same humor as me, that see the world the same as me. Not identical clones, but you know, when you build a corporate culture, you pick people that's 50% based off of personality and 50% based off of skill. I think that's why the industry is rotten, because the people at the top are rotten, it's my opinion, and they pull other people in. It's like they can sense it that you down with the shenanigans. Because you also have to think, if you are into that and you hire somebody that's just like, what? That's like hiring me and you have me coming in to like, what's that movie Keanu Reeves made? The Devil's something, where he was like an attorney and he came into something and it was like a freak show going on. That's like hiring me to work there. And they'd be like, come on. And all of a sudden, like on the weekends, we got to go to a party where people getting trains pulled on them. The hell is this? What? That? What? Not even Catholic. Let me start. Anyone, Jehovah, I'm on my knees. Get me, right? So you have to hire people and keep people around you that are either 2 ways. 1, 3 ways. 1, with the ish and giggles, right? They're the ones slapping hands. Yeah, we having a freak off Saturday, right? And you come in to the office pantry like, what's your freak off Friday? Also, did you guys refill the coffee mate? Because I can't keep drinking this coffee like this, right? Yeah. You know, and they just like, yeah, freak off Fridays. But everybody come in when you come in like, what's going on Friday? Nothing. No, we're just going to Domino's, you know, see you Monday, right? You need someone that's keeping the party going. Or 2, they're too scared to say something, right? Or 3, like, they just like, they don't care to say anything. They're like, I don't care. You know, those evil people that are just like, all right, dummy, they should have been, they should have been more on top of this stuff. You know what I'm talking about, right? So it makes me think the whole culture is down there. And that's why in the 90s, everybody that got to the top was on some dumb-ish, because, again, birds of a feather flock together. Now, ask yourself this. I guess I want to say why they're allowed to do that. Because at first, you know me, I was just like, see, Black community, see, they want us to fail, which is true, right? Like, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. But, right, somebody said, I'm so proud of Cassie, and my tinfoil hat is telling me 45 Dun told a lot of people to get out of his problems. We're going to see a lot more. I'm Jess. Thank you. I agree with you. But let me just say this, right? On my rant. I think it's the fact that where there's money and power, and I think the powerful people um get off on that. Just hear me out. This was actually my boyfriend's theory, honestly. When you reach a level of wealth and power, not like, oh, you're doing good for yourself, but you reach a level of power that you got people that are willing to do anything to be around you, or you reach a level of wealth, right? There are certain people that the only thing left for them to do, the only thing their power can't get you, the only thing that your money can't buy, right, is honestly somebody else's personal boundaries. So I feel like they get off on breaching personal boundaries. When you can have everything in your world and when you have so much power, what do you get off on? Maybe that's why Epstein Island was created. I'm being dead serious. Like they're just like, oh, you say this is wrong, but what if we get a 12-year? You see what I'm saying? I feel like it's the same way in the music industry. Now, that said, I realize, because like me, I'm like, you can give me $1 billion. I'm cool, right? I will be over buying Baskin-Robbins chains, Baskin-Robbins ice cream chains that nobody is allowed to go into. And they'll always be fully staffed with all 31 flavors, plus all the seasonal flavors, fresh and rotated as often, because sometimes they be giving you freezer burnt ice cream. And those Baskin Robbins would be solely for my enjoyment. That's it. You will know if I ever win the lottery and get like 100 million. Y'all will know, because I will spend my money so foolishly. It's like y'all buying hookers and white Lee puppy dot buying stocking kiss press on nails, the white fingernail tips, right, for all his girls and guys. We'll get into that, but y'all will know when I get some, not just money, but I mean serious money, where my whole bloodline can be taken care of for the rest of their lives, their children's lives, my grandchildren's lives, right? And their grandchildren's lives. And I still got money to burn. Oh, yes. All Baskin Robbins will be solely for my use. And I'll sit there in the window while everyone's like, can we have some ice cream? Maybe. I don't know. Okay, fine. But no, that's not true. I would give it to anybody under 18 can get as much ice cream as they want. Or if you just want ice cream, okay, fine. I'd share my ice cream for everyone. However, I would get cut to the front of the line. But let me get back to the point, because y'all don't care. Somebody said my freak out will be in 15 minutes, tightly cuddling my pillow in bed. I'm Mifi. What's going on? Thank you for the super chat. Pro Pam said, hey, hilarious. And Woody T said, thank you. Pro Pam, listen, you guys, everybody say hi to Pro Pam. She has been rocking with me from the beginning, before I even had a ring light. Now, I know what some of y'all saying, ain't much change. This thing still look low budget, and you still gonna get low budget. And for the people being like, you need to slow down and think about your words, bitch, person, this is not high school. I am not thinking about anything. I'm just saying it out my mouth, and I will upgrade my equipment as I see fit. But thank you for being with me since the ring light, Pro Pam. I appreciate you. Christina MS said, where is Farnsworth Bentley? Well, the word on the curve is Farnsworth Bentley is living in Atlanta, right? With his wife. And I believe I know for a fact he has one child. He might have two. Farnsworth Bentley is married to a woman. That might be a surprise to some. But God bless that union. God bless that union. However, all jokes aside, where is Farnsworth Bentley? The funny thing is, I don't think it's NDAs. I think Diddy paid them off. Maybe. I don't know. This is all speculation. Welcome to my channel. It's a speculation channel, Listen, whatever happened to the cartoon, Ottoman Jr., the cartoon is still, thank you. Who said that? Miss Curry. Miss Curry Bigger said, love your setup and mic. Thank you. But thank you, Pro Pam, and everybody else has been rocking with me for so long. So listen, let's get back to this Aaron Hall thing, okay? But again, in this lawsuit, and I think this is what Diddy is scared to come out of. But this is what Aaron Hall is probably going to be like, that's me. Maybe there's video, because there's two people that's suing them. And oddly enough, the two people's stories are very similar. And the girl says that she was also, like, her girlfriend was also victim. So it makes me feel like the two victims that now have suits against them, were they the women that were in the same thing? After Diddy going to lose his reputation, Aaron Hall is going to be crazy, because probably more mentally ill women or men. I don't know. Anyway, let's get off of him. For my child come out looking like him. You know, they say you talk about somebody too much. Anyway, if that's the case, my kid's going to come out with Khloe Kardashian's original face. Anyway, y'all, so all jokes aside, right? So Aaron Hall basically got Diddy on the hook, because you literally have him admitting in interviews that this stuff happened. Please believe that the lawyers and all this other stuff, that's why they waited till the last minute. On top of that, the fact that all these industry mofos were doing this, you know, basically people have said, again, speculation, that Cassie was basically used as Diddy's business card, if that is right. And he used her as a means to close business deals. And there are major executives that played a part in her assault through the years. Oh, thank you, Janelle. Thank you for the super chat. Janelle said, hey, Tisa, love the show. Thank you. But honestly, that might be what happened. But at the end of the day, Cassie has her my guess is $100 million settlement. I'm not going to say she's going to be all right, because I'm sure she has years of therapy. She really was his toy, but also his punching bag, but also the way she disrespected her so much in the industry. I see why Cassie moved out of New York. I see why she's with her husband. Now I look at all Cassie's moves and I'm like, I see how it makes a difference. And to think about their trauma bond that her and her husband, and I don't say trauma bond because people say trauma bond is, it's a bad thing. But the way Cassie and her husband kind of healed each other, because Cassie was very, very much abused. For her to take that much abuse, I feel like she grew up seeing abuse, but I don't know too much of Cassie's childhood. But I do know that Alex, her husband, grew up seeing his mother abused. So can you imagine a woman that's been horribly abused by a man that controlled her and treated her worse than a rag doll? And you meet another man that not only loves you, he's pretty easy on the eyes too, right? And he loves you. And on top of that, he is also hurt, that child wound of seeing your mother doing all this stuff and not being able to protect her. And you meet a woman that is your dream woman, but also she got this wound and you guys heal each other. That man protected her. And now that I know a little bit more about Puffy, I'm like, yeah, he was standing 10 toes down, 10 fingers. He was ready to go to war. He was, all these industry people, all these men act like there's something. Puffy was the first one, right? He was the first one to publicly say, yeah, you worried about a man, you this and that. He was tweeting, he was going hard at Puffy. He wanted all the smoke. And he was the one that I'm sure she talked to about, like, and he was the one that was like, take action. I got you. We can do this. It's beautiful because everybody's kind of imperfect. Everybody has like wounds. Some of us move through them different ways, but to be with a partner where the way you help them also heals you, and the way that you heal yourself also helps them. Him breathing life into Cassie and giving her courage to take a stand that now one man in the industry, whether Puffy busts them upside the head with a phone or a champagne bottle, not one man had the guts, not even to go against, well, let me shut up, except 50 Cent. But you know, except 50 Cent. Not one man outside of 50 Cent had the guts to lift a voice, an eyelid, an eyelash against Puffy. And you got Alex, the personal trainer, about to go to war. And from that, him breathing life and literally holding Cassie down, helping her get clean, doing all this stuff, helping her become a mother in the way she wanted to, which is clean, present, no depression, no anxiety, right? I know some days are better than others, but you know? And then from her taking his support, because that's what real men do. People think that men are just like, no, get down, submit. No, real men are like your rock, but they're your rock that you can stand on to stand higher, if that makes any sense. Like, think about your dad. They protect you in the storm, they nurture you, they breathe life into you, but they bring the life they breathe into you are like battle cries. You know what I'm saying? Like, when your dad gets in your ear, you be like sharpening your machete, listening to like, listen to like blood. What is it? One blood with the game. One blood. Well, your dad breathed life into you. You be ready to go to war. Hold on. John Edmonds, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it very, very, very much. Ducky 11 said, where is J-Lo? And remember, Shine did that time for Diddy with the hammer, and J-Lo was there for that. I remember, and I remember J-Lo got away from it as fast as possible. You know, the thing is, J-Lo said that she never saw Puffy cheat on her, but she knew. But now that we know, J-Lo be lying. I do not believe that somebody that did the things he did to Cassie easily. I don't believe that that was just Cassie. I think he's doing it to everybody. It was only a matter of time, like, till he gets comfortable enough. You know, I don't know for a fact, but I do know that people don't change. It's like me, you know, I could be a real a-hole when like, when my, what do you call it? Like ADD rage kicks in and like I'm overstimulated and like whatever, right? But then I'm very, very quick to calm down and be like, yo, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean your mom's heart. Like, literally, I'm very quick to calm down. And then I try to do something to make it up because, like, immediately I regret my actions because I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have talked to you like that, right? I've gotten a lot better with it. But, I'm just telling y'all a little bit about myself, right? When I get into my vibe, it's like, okay, like, just stop, right? You'll just walk away from me. Like, I can't take you right now. But that said, that nature of me, that like my temper will flare up if I think I'm being treated unfairly. But then, like, if you leave me alone within a couple of hours, I'll calm down. If it's really bad, a day, I'll calm down. And then I'll just like can we just all get along? That doesn't change. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if someone stays close to me, I will always be quick to forgive the people I keep in my circle. That's why I keep a small circle. I say all this to say, I notice traits in my friends. I notice traits in people I don't like. People usually treat people the same. Same way people say, oh, but when you're my boyfriend or when you're my girlfriend, I'll treat you like a king or a queen. That's a lie. Because if you were going to treat me nicely, if you were going to be generous, if you were going to spoil me, granted, you're not taking me shopping on the first date, but it's like, get whatever you want at the restaurant. Oh, do you like that? Let's get it. People that are generous, people that are kind, people that are mean, people that are envious, people that are hateful. You don't need to do anything to trigger it. That is who they are. They will show themselves to you. I honestly believe that Puffy had to show this side of himself to many, many people. But J-Lo ain't going to admit anything. Ducky 11. Why? Because J-Lo is like, we see from this mess that's going on. Let's go on a tangent. We see from this mess that's going on with Ben Affleck. J-Lo ain't going to do nothing because she is still trying to convince us that Ben Affleck was a good decision to marry. When she know it, her mama know it, the church know it, Ben knows he is not a suitable partner. Again, this is my opinion. But we see the way J-Lo is going on this pret splits to make us think that she has her love story now and love rules. When we all looking at her like, girl, Ben looked like he drinking again. He gambling. How long until the cocktail waitresses? No shade to cocktail waitresses, but I mean like Ben Affleck, like, finding him in the hotel room with him because Ben, when he wants to get out of a relationship, he gets under another person. So anyway, right? Back to what I was saying. Let's get into these. But I don't think J-Lo is in fantasy. But the fact that she's like this with Ben lets me know that when she was with Puffy, she won't act like, oh, it's not me. Because a lot of people will be like, not me. He wasn't hitting me. Instead of being like, yeah, it happened to me too. Because, and I see why, because people are already coming in to attack these two women, saying they lying on Puffy. When at the end of the day, we don't even know who these women are. So how we know they lying? That's when people telling themselves, you hear an anonymous person is accusing Diddy of, who just settled for almost close to, the reports are saying, I don't know if it's true, 100 million with Cassie, right? You don't even know who these women are. You don't even know what information or what facts they have. And there are people right now on thing talking about, it's just a money grab. What are you talking about? Now this is getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. You don't even know the facts. That's when people start telling on themselves. This would have been Cassie's fate if she hadn't settled so quick. So good for her, you know? Agnes said, hey, girl. Hey, almost missed the live. What's up, Agnes, with the bang bang? I love that bang. The bang. I can't wear bangs because when I do, it's just like, but I love the bang on you. Okay, so let's get into this Aaron Hall mess, and then we're going to get into the other stuff. Okay, so 50 Cent is the people's champ. He is our generation's Nostradamus, if you will. The real thing that we're getting into the Aaron Hall is because honestly, Aaron Hall gave me closeted gay man, and you know how there's a trope. It might be, hold on. It is grounded in homophobia, but there are some people that are so angry that they can't live their lives authentically, not because the world won't let them, which definitely, I'm talking about even now, where it's like, okay, fine, you gay, like just come out the closet. But they are so angry that they can't live their lives authentically because they themselves look down on gay people. But they are gay, but they look down on gay people. So they have all this anger, right? They got all this anger that being gay, doing this, doing that, but they want it. So they become very angry and punishing and just full of venom because they can't live their lives on their terms, because they will in their minds lose respect. But the reason they feel like they'll lose respect is because they'll lose respect for themselves because they hate who they are inside. They hate who they are inside. And I think that is where the anger toward women comes from, because they hate themselves so much and they find women disgusting and they feel like, I have to have you around or else people will talk to you. You know what I'm saying? It's deep. It's deep. It's deep. Andrew said a lot of poopy butts in here. So, okay. Hold on. Let's see. You know what? Somebody said, yes, there are guys defiled by their higher up mentors and the cycle continues. Listen, hurt people. But I really do think that they all, that's the thing. Somebody asked a good question when they were like, there's a lot. Listen, there are women that willingly sleep with Aaron Hall. So I think it's fair to say that there's a lot of women and men that would be like, I'll do it. They literally, John Edmonds, thank you so much for another super chat. I appreciate it. There are a lot of men and women that will be like, and they up and right, they getting some Sally Hansen one coat, white nail polish, painting their fingers, toes, and putting a little drop on their nose just to be like, I'm gonna show Diddy what he want. Y'all hoes gonna come in here with just white fingernails, baby. How about we do white fingernails, white toenails? Did it on them. Literally be getting ready. Did it on them, right? Putting it right there, right? Ask what tribe, red dot, a feather, right? Like, you know, all I really know is that I'm not a hoe. And if you coming at me, best be chief, lots of dough. That was my line, right? So anyway, there are plenty of people. They'll sleep with Aaron Hall. They'll sleep with anything, right? So somebody asks, why wouldn't they? It's the same reason they get off, because it's about power. It's about control. And believe it or not, they want the people that don't want it. They want the people they don't want it. They want the people that don't want it. They want the women. They want the guy that's just like, no, I came in here to get girls. What you mean, bend over? Like, that's the person they want. There may be a million other men that's just like, listen, I like anything, right? I like what likes me. They don't want that. So it's a little bit, it is predatory, because at the end of the day, and this is what people don't get off about people that get sued for this type of stuff. It's not people like flirting. Oh, well, no. They could be everybody in the office being like, I'll sleep with you to get a raise. They want the one man or woman that's just like, absolutely not. Because you ever notice from Diddy's story, every girl that he got serious with, even Gina, all told the same story. They didn't really think he was cute at first. They didn't really like him like that. He really chased after them. They had boyfriends. He pressed, blah, 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 blah. He spoiled them. He did this and that. He basically fought for their attention. There were a million girls that were like, you look okay to me. We can do it. And you got money? Bet. That money make you look better. He didn't want that. None of them want that. That's what makes it so sick. None of them want that. Now let's get into these Aaron Hall tweets. Because, yeah, no. Where are they at? Ugh, he is just so vile. Okay. So somebody said, Lini Atomo Hoochie, Dope Curl Fresh on Twitter said, Aaron Hall has always had a reputation for being a creep. When guys split up, and who is Guy? Is that when guys split up and Guy's a group. Okay. When guys split up and the members went their separate ways, Damian Hall came to Deliverance to preach. I distinctly recall him saying his brother was a bad person. The lyrics to Don't Be Afraid had just come out. Go read the lyrics. So, you know me. I said, okay, let's read the lyrics, shall we? The lyrics are, now I have you all to myself. Wait, let me sing it in Aaron Hall. Now I have you all to myself. You can put all the other guys okay, fine, I'll stop. All over the shelf. No need to run. No need to run and no need to hide. All the doors are locked, baby, and I have you inside. You can yell and you can hit me. It just makes me HORNY. Can we say that? YouTube be tripping. Ain't nothing but a love thing, baby, between you, me, and you. So just give in, baby. Don't worry about a thing. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, baby. Oh, God. If there's one thing that gets on my nerves, and it's a begging. Those 90s songs with the riffs. I'm not really into 90s music, but Aaron Hall's music, I know for a fact would annoy me. He says, don't be afraid 10 times. Don't be afraid. Shut up. Anyway, he said, when I get through with you, ain't nobody else that you'll want to go to. I put all them in the shame. Remember, baby, this is a nasty man's game. Who was giving it up to this mofo? Who? Show yourselves. No, because who was giving it up to this mofo? Reading this mess, singing along at the concert. Whose mama was doing this? Whose auntie was doing this? Who? I want let them be named. Who brought this scourge upon us? Let them be named and let them be shamed. Anyway, right? So let's get back into the thing. They said nobody believed Gloria Velez when she said he abused her. He said himself he got with her when she was 16. He was over 30. He absolutely did that ish. Probably things we will never hear about. Let it all burn. I do think the number one thing that we can do in American society to make sure that people are not taken advantage of, I honestly believe that we should normalize not being okay with older men and women messing with people that are below 25 or 26. Now, I know what people say. Oh, they grown. They're not. They're not. Even think about yourself. When you were between the ages of 18 and 25, I know we all thought we were grown. I know we all thought we were, but you weren't. And you really didn't know nothing about the world. I don't care if you got started sleeping and creeping when you were 14 years old. It don't matter, because the ways of the world, when I say the ways of the world, I feel like anything that God created is natural, right? Your attraction for someone is natural. The SEX, that's natural, right? It's like, okay, fine, that's natural. When I say the ways of the world, I mean the depravity, because anything that's natural can't be wrong. I'm talking about the depravity of the world. You might think you're running game, but at 18 and 19, do you really think that somebody will psychologically abuse someone, ruin them forever, cheat on them, gaslight them, manipulate them, play games? Baby, you don't even know the world gets that dark. You don't. You might think you know game. You might be like, oh, please, I'm not stupid. I know the way people are. You don't. You have no idea. I think by the time you're 25 or 26, you start experiencing, some people turn into the monsters themselves. Some people experience monsters. But I think it's something different experiencing a monster that is within 3 or 4 years of your age than experiencing a monster that is double your age, because the damage is double, if y'all feel me. Do y'all agree with that? Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys agree. You know, oh, collectively, hold on, said, when you have time, check out Last Night with Outro by Diddy and Keisha Cole. The outro skit is disturbing. I remember when that song came out after jamming, I heard that skit and was like, what the heck? Yeah, I'm going to have to look at that. John Edmond says, Tisa, what you're saying makes sense about the repressed homophobia. It's the opposite of what is considered a blank hag. Yes. That they love women as an accessory or trophy of masculinity. Exactly. Again, I think they're angry because they look down on homosexual people, and they are homosexual. So it's like a bunch of self-hate that they lash out. And that hate, when you got a lot of that much anger and rage and resentment towards yourself, of course you're going to take it out on the weaker people around you. You know, men or women, you will take it out on the weaker thing. Yeah, I just honestly think, right? Yeah, I don't believe that. Argentinian alpha core guinea pig. I don't believe that you're past. You are. I'm not saying that when you turn 18, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I believe there should be legislation that stops people from preying on younger, more innocent people. I do. The same way I can take you to court if you bust up my window, I should be able to take you to court if you drive my best friend crazy from gaslighting. I'm being serious, but I realize why that legislation will never pass, because there's a lot of people doing that foul mess and they don't want to be held accountable. And they don't want to be held accountable. So anyway, right? Yeah, I disagree. It's like there's a difference between accountability, and that's a punishing way to look at it. You are held accountable. Life holds you accountable when you fall on your face. It's a punishing aspect, because I feel like in American society, and I can't say American because I didn't grow up in any other type of society, even though I travel a lot, I look at their societies as an outsider. I think I understand, but it's like when foreigners come to America and they don't understand American culture, right? They think they understand. I hear people like in the UK, this, that, like they think they understand American culture, and to a certain extent they do, but there's so much nuance that goes over their head. You know, it's like, no, you really have to be born in this country and raised to understand the different levels, because it just falls flat. But, you know, I feel like in America, the nuance, the fact that we will let monsters grow. And instead of being like, why is that monster in the cave eating people? We got to go and air this cave out. We can't have monsters eating people. There will be a whole string of people being like, why would you go into that cave? You know there's a monster there. And you're like, okay, I have accountability. I should not walk into like, if I know a monster's there, maybe that wasn't the smartest move, walking into that cave. But is anybody going to address the MF monster? Is anybody going to go and get the monster? Is anybody like, okay, fine, I was stupid. How does stupidity mean that I have to like lose my mind? How does stupidity mean I deserve to get my head cracked open? How does stupidity mean I deserve to be preyed on? That's just stupidity. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, no, I don't believe that monsters should have to exist. We're always blaming the victim. Why? Because I did. Why is the monster eating people? Have we thought about that? But when you're like, can we go and like get the monster? Because the monster's no, nothing we can do. It's the monster. It's weird. Anyway, let's get back into Aaron Hall and his mess. They said when R. Kelly jacked Aaron Hall's entire persona, we meant he jacked his entire persona. So another person said, and people have been talking about Aaron Hall for years as well, prayers and protection to this woman as she navigates this. Y'all, listen, this was really, really crazy. It was wild, but let's get into this other stuff, right? Because, hold on, let me pull it up. 1 second, y'all. Just got to pull it up, and then we can get right into it. We got a few recaps. Oh, also, do y'all want the call-in link tonight? Does anybody want to call in? I'm just asking because some of y'all drop a 1 if y'all want the call-in link. Drop 2 if y'all don't care. Okay. Also, did y'all know that Justin isn't Diddy's biological child? How y'all feel about that? Now, normally I'd be like, that's great, right? That's great. There's a lot of 2s in this chat. Okay, right? So listen, Justin isn't Diddy's biological child. And normally I'd be like, who cares? Like, but how do I say this? Diddy is a bit of a deviant. Diddy is not to be trusted. And I don't know how I feel having my child around someone that's into stuff like that. Because I'm trying to walk around stuff. I don't want to say the wrong thing. You know, people have this fantasy that, you know, it's a very American, it's a very American archetype. A crime boss, a man that's cruel and vicious, right? But he loves his children. He loves his children. He loves his family. He literally goes and deletes everybody on the block they even breathe on, but then he comes home and they're like, Papa, I love you. And I think that is a fallacy. That's why we let monsters live, because we somehow think that, okay, they're being a monster, but it's something you did to bring the monster out of them, because they're good people to other people. I believe that if somebody was doing all that to the women that he dated, I think that the kids were dealing with stuff, not of that nature, but I think that, in my opinion, that personality, that what made him click, it came out with his dealings with his children, probably, of course, in different ways. I would hope in different ways, but it still came out. For instance, if you go through Diddy's daughter's Instagram feed, 90% of the pictures, they got on white nail polish. Now, maybe, of course, they got on white nail polish because their dad was always like, yo, get the white. That's what lady, like, no, dark skin looks good with white. And they didn't realize where it was coming from. But you cannot tell me that somebody that is that controlling, obsessive, intrusive, abusive, mean, you can't tell me that that was only reserved for Cassie Ventura. You know, maybe that actual component is taken out when he's dealing with his children, but the other issue is still there. People don't change. Someone that cruel, it's like people don't change. Mr. Chill said, Sylvester Stallone met and dated his wife when she was 19 and he was 42. They've been happily married for years. Was he a creep too? Actually, Mr. Chill, he was. Sylvester Stallone was super abusive and cheated on Jennifer Flavin for most of their marriage. And if you do a quick Google search, you will see. He cheated on her, hit her a few times, treated her horribly. She still was his bottom B, cried all the time. He finally had a child, cheated on her while she was pregnant, cheated on her after that. He treated Jennifer like trash most of the marriage. The only thing is now he's not popping anymore, so nobody talks about it. But Google and go to the archives and see what type of thing. So yes, he was a creep, Mr. Chill. Thank you for proving my point. Thank you for proving my point. Next question. He was a horrible husband to her. Horrible. Horrible. Listen, Listen, like, yes, Mandy, and she took him back recently. I don't understand people when they're just like, oh, so does that make him a creep? Yes. The fact that I don't understand men and women. You got a whole army of people that dated older men and women that will tell you, yo, looking back, I would have never did it. You ask somebody that was in a relationship with someone that was 10 years or more older than them, and you ask them, man or woman, would you want your child to date somebody that same age? And most of them will say, absolutely not. I don't know. Like, it was what it was, but nah, I just want them to stick to people. That is the consensus among people that had May, December relationships, whether they're men or women. And the fact that you have all the people, or at least a big majority, that went through that being like, yo, I wouldn't want my child to do that. But yet there are still people being like, does that make him a creep too? Absolutely. What's your definition of a creep? Like, what's people's definitions? I'm not trying to go on you, Mr. Chill, but what's people's definitions of like a victim? Some guy got to be laying like literally in a gutter needing blood transfusions while like people are like, you're like, what does a victim look like? I don't understand. Like, that's like saying people that come from war-torn countries aren't victims because you saw them laughing and playing and they out there getting ice cream and eating. Yeah, I know, because when they alone, the trauma sometimes breaks them. Like, does anybody? And the weird thing is so many people are dealing with trauma. Do people not know what trauma looks like and how it manifests? Right, listen. But here's the thing. Somebody says Sly is extremely overprotective of his daughters because he knows that there are men out there like him. But I would contend that that's why it's important, that little trope that someone is like a dog, but a good father because he's overprotective of his daughters. He is, you cannot tell me that someone that treated women like that somehow looks at women that come from their own loins and be like, yeah, but not you, honey. No. It's only like that as long as they do everything he says. As soon as they do something that displeases him, that's when he'll start to treat them like disobedient women. And how does an abuser treat disobedient women? Financial abuse, control, intrusion, controlling their lives, controlling who steps to them, bugging their phones, tracking them. You mean the same things he did to their mama? Again, men that are abusive only treat their daughters well to the extent that their daughters can become the perfect woman. Whenever their daughters defy them, it starts up again. Like, this is just human nature, guys, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's just, it is what it is, right? But anyway, yeah. So there are photos of Justin and Diddy kissing on the lips. And I'm sure nothing untoward is going on. And I'm sure Diddy raised him as his son. But, and so I think, would you trust him though? Would you trust him? Someone that rules over people, somebody that sees people as property, someone that says and does things to break people down. Do you think he ever, like, again, we saw Diddy and Cassie on the red carpet smiling the whole time. We now know the ish that Diddy's into. I really just find it hard to believe that it didn't bleed into his family life. It's starting to make me think that his facade about being the best dad and a family man may all be some BS. And his children and the people that they love, that he loves, smile and do this performative mess because they're all about image. Just like Cassie smiled and did the performative mess. Just like Kamora Lee smiled and did the performative mess when she knew what was happening with her and Kim Porter. Just like Kim Porter smiled and did the performative mess. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. So yeah. So let's get into this. Let me drop the call-in link. I'm going to drop the call-in link right now. It's here. I'm going to put one in chat. Here's the link. If you guys don't want to call in, I'll just keep talking by myself. But anyway, and I'm going to start reading some of those comments. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'll read the comments. Hold on, let me just put some tags on this. Diddy. Man, Diddy's career is over, though. Do you guys believe the fact that Diddy might be feds? I've been looking into it. I'm putting something together, but I think that actually might be true, that Diddy is fedulante. Let's put some tags on here. Kim Porter. Who else do we want in this? Ariel Day. Let's put Aaron Hall. It's probably the most. He's probably woke up like, oh my God, I'm trending today. Finally, people understand. More B's for me. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Aaron Hall would be happy to actually go to the big house. I really do think that something's wrong with that man. You know, something is wrong with that man. Like something is just wrong with that man. Anyway, let's go. Okay, I put tags on here. Let's MFing go. Okay, so where was I? Oh, that's right, talking trash. Okay, so people are really starting to see also that Diddy, again, that I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm going to leave it alone because I don't want to talk about kids. And I'm sure, like, you know, I'm not saying like, you know, I'm not saying that. I am saying I find it hard to believe now, this whole image. And again, Puffy is a Scorpio. A Scorpio, their image and their money, and maybe we can't even say Scorpio, but for someone like Puffy, from what we've seen, I feel like image and money are the most important thing to him. Okay, so 50 Cent's been saying forever that Diddy's been doing this and nobody's been listening. But there was, you know, somebody, YK Osiris was on, or was it OT Cyrus, whatever, he went on vacation with Diddy, and they were literally in a, in Jamaica on vacation together. And people are saying that now that he hasn't been with Cassie, Diddy is getting more and more bold about having other men. But the thing is, Mr. Chill, hold on, let me read this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go in on you. Mr. Chill said, thank you for super chat, said, my bad. I didn't know about that, about Sylvester Stallone. I'll do my research on that. Yeah, listen, I didn't mean to go in and make it seem like I was like, yeah, do your research. But like, maybe it's just a thing about powerful people. When you actually research all of them, they all have a story that make you be like, maybe I shouldn't be stunting on you. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Y'all know what I'm saying. John Edmond says, Tisa, do you think Carissa and Diddy are going to stay on that struggle love, aka he's a good man, Savannah? Here's the thing about Carissa and Diddy, and I will stand 10 toes down on this. I honestly feel like Carissa wrapped her brand up in Diddy too much. And honestly, a year ago, the City Girls were at their height. When she started dating Diddy, and when JT started dating Uzi, they stopped doing shows. They started cursing out their fans. They did whatever. And I'm not saying they're wrong, because at the end of the day, maybe the fans got on the nerves. You know, I look at Chloe and Haley Bailey's fans, and I'm just like, what in the world? They be on some dumb mess, right? That literally, it's like they just live to like tear her down. It's so weird, right? But to my point, I think at this point, I don't know why Carissa's not suing him. I've said this a million times. But I do think this is my opinion. I don't know Carissa. I don't know Diddy. I'm just giving you my opinion. Y'all can let me know what y'all think. I think Carissa right now feels like she's in control. Because think about it, right? It's not my cup of tea. But there have been so many books written about people being into that. You know, the husband likes to see the wife. The wife likes other men in front of the husband. People are doing it. There's like, you know, clubs. It's just like, yeah, come on, let's just get freaky. It's not my cup of tea, but I know it 100% exists. And I know that it is a fetish, if you will, of people. So when Diddy and Carisha talk, you can tell that they really, really connect on the actual level. And maybe it was a relief to Diddy that he found someone that he didn't have to force to do it. Even though with Carisha, you never know, because Cassie was smiling too and acting like she was okay. So maybe that, like, he's with someone that's with the itch and giggles. But just hear me out. This is what Carisha she might be doing. Okay, I found this guy. He liked that I'm into this. What you talking about? I ain't scared. Other girls run away, baby. I ain't scared. I know what to do with this. Getting what, you know? And in the beginning, Young Miami used to love like the 305 nails, you know, the art nails. And now she's big time into like, you know, shorter, not short for her, white nails, you know? Edna says, hi, Edna. Thank you for the super chat. Said, hi from London. Hello. Evening, governor. Do you like going, good day, mate? Okay, I'll stop. Hi from London. My mom is a social worker for children and families, and she was unsurprised by how Diddy and Will Smith turned out after being groomed. Now, what Will do to get into this? Will don't got no Me Too stuff. He minded his business. We will not have Will Smith slander on that. How did Will get into this? Will is the most unproblematic person. He just literally eats his Cheerios, does his challenges, minds his business, reps for Black families, reps for women. Oh my God. Okay. But see, thank you. So let me just get this point. But thank you so much for the super chat, Edna. But you might be right about the grooming, definitely. Somebody said Diddy is the Black Adam 22 mixed with Epstein. I agree with it. I agree. Now, here's the thing. JM, number 2 Clippers fan, said cancers begin liking Scorpios till we see that they're weirdos. Okay, hear me out on this, okay? Because this is like really, really important. I think in the beginning, Carisha was like, yo, like, I'm down. I like that. You, baby, you like the watch, baby. I like putting on the show. So you mean I can just get somebody that I like, that I think look good, and I don't even got to sneak around. I just got to bring him in here, and you're going to watch it? And that like makes me feel like, I'm getting you back for all the times you don't claim me, or like, you know, you don't answer my calls. So it's like this thing, right? I feel like Young Miami right now feels like she's in control. I feel like she feels like she found somebody that let her freak flag fly, and baby, he loved it. He loved everything about it, right? But at the end of the day, the thing with Cassie is, you know, sorry. The thing with Cassie is Cassie had like been with Diddy for 2 years before the abuse took over. So, sorry, to your point about, until you find out they're weirdos, Young Miami really thinks she's in control. But Diddy grooms people. And I think maybe this lawsuit coming out was the best thing that ever happened to her, because she probably stopped the process like halfway through. You know what I'm saying? She probably stopped the process halfway through. Okay, so Anja Mulahara says, Tisa, I don't know if I'm late, but can you talk about Dana Tran surviving Kim Porter for Puff, surveilling Kim Porter for Puff until she passed away? I'll talk a little bit about that, because I'll tell you a little bit. This is all unconfirmed if we talk about the Dana Tran stuff, because I've heard everybody repeating it, but I haven't been able to find any reputable source. But that said, a bunch of stuff from Puff. So take this with a grain of salt. But that said, a bunch of stuff from Puff in the past was said, and we thought there wasn't a reputable source. So you see what I'm saying? Yes, Carisha remind me of the Ronnie type from Players Club. Yes. So we'll talk about Dana Tran in a second. Dana Tran is Diddy's, the mother of his child, Love. She's also a tech specialist, information technology. People say surveillance, and they're saying that they've been rocking for a minute, and that she played a role in him surveilling Kim Porter. Let me talk about that, because I feel like there's so much speculation and fact mixed together. Let me just separate that. But I will say this, the last thing about Carisha. So I feel like Carisha feels like, I just don't think that she realizes that there are certain things that can't be controlled. And that, when you first meet somebody in a relationship, no matter what it is, you kind of hold back a little bit. The most authentic people, they don't hold back that much, but nobody comes to the date being 100% on their BS, partly because you like the person, you don't want to mess it up, but also, it's just like a lot of, it's situational, but when somebody's a predator, they 100% hide it. I think Carisha thinks right now they are a match, but I think Puffy is grooming her. And I think Puffy is using her too for her clout. Puffy got money. He needed Carisha's clout, and Carisha's career is tied up so much in Puffy. And the thing is, if he ever fires her or stops a revolt show or does this and that, maybe she'll have a lawsuit, but Puffy's burning through money so quickly. I don't even know. Also, Scorpio 21, thank you so much for the super chat. And John Edmonds, thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate that. So let's talk about this Dana Tran thing, right? Everybody says that Puffy used Dana Tran to do surveillance on Kim, to do this, to do that. I did a little work, look into it. And honestly, I think it's capped for two reasons. And I did a little research into this. For one, Dana Tran met Puff 3 or 4 years ago. When they met, I'm not going to get into how I know, but they met about 3 or 4 years ago. Literally, that's how he met her. Dana Tran has not been around with the Kim stuff in any significant form. Kim passed away in 2018. Dana Tran was just coming onto the scene. So there's no way that she could have been, for the years that he was surveilling her. Do you know what I'm saying? Second of all, I don't know who needs to hear this, but that's why I'm like very careful about the people, the links I open, to this, to that. You don't need a sci-fi person at all. You don't need a sci-fi person at all to oh, what's this? Okay. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Okay, so here we go, right? You don't need a tech person to put software on someone's phone. It's called Mirror. Just Google. I think it might be illegal because it's surveillance, but there is software that is $59.99 that you put on. People do it. Boyfriends, girlfriends do it on your laptop. That's why I don't pass my phone to anyone. I don't like people on my laptop. You can put it on their laptop. You can put it on their phone. You can put everything. AirTags just came out, but there was always technology where you could put a low jack tracker on someone's car. It is very cheap and very easy to actually monitor and surveil someone. And when I say this, hey, Dale, 1 second, I'll let you know in 1 second. It is very, very easy to do this, and it's very cheap, and it's very affordable. Hey, baby Case, I just joined. I love it here, T. Love it here for you too. So when people say that, here's the call-in link again. I'll drop it one more time. There's this call-in link. When people say, oh my God, Dana Tran, the ish that Diddy was putting on Kim's stuff literally probably was costing him $500 a year, or maybe $11.99 a month per each program. When I say that, what is it? It's called mirroring. So basically everything you type, everything you look at, everything, it's basically, imagine somebody looking over your shoulder. Everything you do, there's software that you can put on somebody's laptop. Hey, Mel. Hey, Lisa. I'll bring you guys up in 1 second. There's even software that you can put on people's laptops, right? Miss Crazy, I'll put you in 1 second. There's even software you can put on people's laptops where they mirror everything so that you can see everything they do, down to where the cursor is moving, down to where the mouse, you can see like what they click on. You can see that what they scroll down. You can see that where the mouse is resting. and it's cheap. It's easy software. This stuff has been out since 2009. You would not need a computer specialist to do what Puffy was doing with Kim or Cassie. Again, Google it. It's right there. It's on the phone. That's another thing. Don't let somebody be on your laptop if you don't know them. And don't pass anybody your phone unless you trust them or you ain't got nothing to hide. When they're on the phone, it can tape your calls. It literally is like somebody basically it's called cloning. Somebody basically cloned your phone or put that spyware software. And this is stuff from 2009. Imagine what that spyware do right now. So again, yes, it was like, you know me, ooh, really? Dana Tran was tracking Kim. It's you want to believe it. But when you look at when he met Dana Tran, and again, I'm not going to say how I know how, but he has not known of Dana Tran's existence for more than 4 years. And even then, it started off like, you know, it wasn't like love at first sight. It was like, oh, hey, what's up, shorty wop? Like, he saw her when he saw her. So for the first year and a half, 2 years of their relationship, he wasn't really into her, right? At least this is all, by the way, this is all speculation, okay? But he wasn't really into her. And then, right, the only reason she even got that baby is because he was trying to punish Gina. Gina was acting up. Gina was acting up. Sometimes he invited her to freak offs. She said no. He was acting up. So he wanted to punish her. So she was begging for a baby. Like Young Miami said, she wanted a baby by Puffy. She wanted a baby bad. And I'm like, a baby? You should have been worrying about the carpet in your house. But she wanted a baby bad. So it's funny that what happened is I'm not saying the girl is random, but he got Miss Love's mom, random, pregnant, when basically it was just an FU to Gina. You see what I'm saying? That's why Young Miami don't never be pressed about Young's mom, because Love's mom, because at the end of the day, she knows it's really nothing like that. Gina is the one that got her heated because Gina is the threat to her. Because at the end of the day, Puffy treat Gina like crap, but it's part of this weird submissive dom game that they have. And Gina is a problem because Gina gonna be around even after Young Miami's not around. That's my guess. That's my guess. That's my guess. So again, I don't actually think that I don't actually think that you know what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying. All right, y'all. Listen. Let's get into this. Hi, Dale. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Miss Crazy. And hi, Mel. Hey, how are you doing?
Mr. Tells, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing? Happy holidays.
Hey, okay, so listen. Let's start this off. Everybody, try to keep your mic muted when you talk. We'll start with Dale. We'll then go to Lisa, Miss Crazy, and of course, Mel. And then, as long as we're not over talking each other, feel free to jump in. And what's up? Let's just keep it respectful. This not for y'all. Not for my panel. I know y'all gonna be respectful, but anybody that's coming, let's just keep it respectful. Please don't say anything that's gonna get you demonetized. So talk like you're talking in front of your grandmother, right? And yeah, let's get into this. All right. So Dale, you kick this off. What you got to say?
I don't know what to believe right now in these accusations. I don't know what to believe, but I do believe that you are doing a great job in keeping us informed about what's going on. When I heard about it, I was actually shocked. I'm like, I don't normally believe that Diddy would do something like that. You know, like Diddy is.
Why is that? I don't want to interrupt, but why is that? What about him or his persona made you think he was like a good guy?
Because that's what normally I would believe. You know, my opinion is that, you know, the Diddy that I know of was kind enough to do music and doing all that kind of stuff for people. But in my mind, I'm like, I don't think that these allegations are true or whatnot. Because if they are, then somebody just needed, you know, just really need to like settle it or whatnot instead of just lift, you know, instead of dumbing down men, let's lift the people up a little bit, you know, and you know, That's what I believe. I don't want to be like, cruel or whatnot, but I just don't believe in the allegations. But I do believe that somebody needs to be telling Diddy, hey, I think it's time that you just speak up about those allegations that are just falsely against you. Like look what's going on with Jamie Foxx right now. I'm hearing about that, and I'm like, Jamie Foxx wouldn't do that. Like, and I'm hearing about, these men are being falsely accused instead of just looking at it from the root of it, what's going on. So I just don't believe it, and it just breaks my heart that men are being, knocked down knocked down to the point where it's like the industry can really do something to you. It can make you or break you. So you have to watch out. You have to pray for people instead of just like judging them or whatnot,
I get what you're saying, Dale, but I disagree because as a woman,
you have a right
allegations, and I was like, you did it. Literally, I was like, you did it, a-hole. And I completely believe it. Any woman that's been around men, right, knows that if they can try it, they will try it. That's why every mom always tells her daughter, be careful. That's why every father always feels some type of way. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying that all men are predators. I am saying that for someone to come out, and also when it's like not knocking people down, I get what you're saying, but I also feel like to what much power is given, right? Much is expected. And I feel like when you have that much power, because it is power, because at the end of the day, why was Cassie getting her face cracked open? And I don't even mean to be flippant. Cassie was getting her face cracked open because she wanted to be famous. But why does she want to be famous? Because she wanted the money. At the end of the day, when someone wants a better life, when somebody is trying to escape, when somebody is trying to push past, there's a lot of things people will do. People will work, like if people will work scrubbing toilets to pay their bills, what's somebody like talking crazy to them? Because you're scrubbing toilets and your boss is talking crazy to you too. People will do a lot to get ahead. So when you have that type of power and you know that you basically are like, but you hold the keys to someone having more in life. If you do what I say, if I like you, that's a lot of power. And the fact that people can understand how somebody will get on their knees and scrub a toilet, right? Clean restrooms. I just find that because every time I go into a public restroom, I'm like, who works here, right? But the fact that it's acceptable and you can understand how somebody can get on their knees and scrub a toilet and get a boss that's talking to them like they're ish and coworkers that treat them bad. And you can understand what you're doing that to make a better life for yourself. But somehow people are like, you don't understand how somebody might compromise some of their morals because at the end of the day, they getting ahead too. One, I get it. As Western Capital, we make it, it's like, oh, that's so noble. Because of course we need to have people that will work their butts off for like 2 cents. So that's noble. But I understand both of it is a compromise. But the stuff that Diddy did, I don't know why. But you ever look at someone and you don't know why when you hear something about them, it rings true, but you look at them and you're like, you did it. I don't even know why I believe it, but this sounds like the truth. And when I was reading, I was like, I don't know why, but the angels are singing, this sounds like the truth. But I get your point that you don't need to break people down. True. But I don't think that Diddy said that. I just don't believe Diddy. I don't like you got Aaron. There were so many people corroborating this mess for decades. And now he's like, my client finds this category untrue. I just feel like, no, especially that Aaron Hall mess. No. But listen, let's bring, hold on. Who is next? All right, Mama.
I get where you're coming from, but you have a right to disagree with me. But
yeah, of course.
Because we're still brothers and sisters. We have different opinion. You're just putting your opinion is respected. And
Oh yeah, and I respect your opinion too. SS, thank you so much for the super sticker. We'll come back to you, but let's move on to the next person. All right, Mama, what do you have to say? How's everything going? Who's next?
Well, I just wanted to say that you were just talking about how they're getting these young people who are very impressionable, right? So I can remember a statement that like Seth Rogen and James Franco made that you have to suck your dreams peen. They said that like
Wait,
in a
what?
movie, I believe.
Oh,
So
get her to the Greek. Get her to the
yes,
Greek. Yes. What was that line again?
you gotta suck your dreams peen. It's sad.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to bring up that nobody has been talking about really is like Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
The beginning of this year, him being sick. Why was the gossip then was talking about, oh, he has videos on Diddy. What if these videos was like the freak off videos, right? And the other thing about him being poisoned or possibly poisoned, I know that was a rumor as well. And it just comes off very weird that like all these people are dying around Diddy, right? And it's from crazy ways. Some people are being possibly poisoned. Kim, they said is possibly poisoned. Like, what are these things that are going on and that are happening? I also wanted to bring up like Aubrey O'Day. She basically said he wanted me to do something outside of work.
Oh, yo.
What was it that he wanted her to do? Like, it has to be like the stuff he had Cassie doing, if you ask me.
You might be right. I actually saw something about Aubrey O'Day and Diddy that really just had me being like, girl, what? So they were saying that one of the reasons why Aubrey and Diddy used to argue so much is because they had a situation, right? And to the point of, they are saying that he used to, even in front of people, and again, this is speculation, so take this with a grain of salt, but again, I believe it, he would grip her up by her neck in front of everybody or people. He would strip her down blank, and he would force himself on top of her. They had a relationship. That's why Aubrey was saying something. And they also said, and this is the tea, Aubrey, even that's why when you look at Making of the Band, she would be glaring at him. Everybody thought they had so much tension. They were like, no, it wasn't tension. She hated his guts. Again, people will compromise their morals and to get ahead, because if they're so desperate to get ahead. Anybody that does that, in my mind, you're trying to outrun something. And whatever you're trying to outrun is scarier than what you're looking at in front of you. Again, it gets too much. But my whole thing with Aubrey is, again, I just think it's society. Okay, fine, I did it to get ahead and get money. Are we going to actually persecute the person that's actually doing this? Again, I think when you have a lot of power, it is your responsibility to wield it. They said, in terms of, let me find this Aubrey thing, but go on, I'm sorry. Oh, here's it says. They said Aubrey O'Day ain't tell it yet, but she was getting blank assaulted by Diddy while the show was filming. She fought back violently. He used to grab her by her neck and strip her in the buff. They said, go back and watch old clips of Making of the Band. You can see how she would look at him, but everybody at the time thought it was some sexual energy they had for each other. She hated him, but knew she couldn't go anywhere. They used to physically fight. Can't wait for her lawyer to get them NDAs annulled so she can speak about everything. And they said they always knew something was up because of her and D Woods. They were close on the show, and then D Woods left the group. I knew it had everything to do with Diddy, and it didn't involve music. I would not be surprised if Aubrey O'Day actually did settle with Diddy, because she's gotten really, really quiet. and the 24th deadline has passed. So I am now 100, and all she's doing is posting now inspirational memes. I'm 100% sure. Well, okay, I can't be 100, but if I had to bet, I'm not saying Aubrey settled with Diddy, but I think Aubrey settled with Diddy. And they said they worked for over 20 years in the biz. They worked with Danny King. Puff dismantled Danny King because he lost his deal with MTV. They were all treated horrible. I'm sure all the girls had lots of trouble. Puff made millions. The girls left broke. Puff is a horrible person. If people only knew, he broke everything up. I remember back then Puff was making so much money too that he wasn't really taking Danny King seriously. They were supposed to just be a reality show that Puffy just made people laugh. I think Puffy was actually surprised that Danny King actually came out of a real band. Even when making a band the first season, he never planned to put anyone on, and he just wanted to become more famous. I think he was surprised that he actually made some bands out of that. You know what I'm saying? But go on. What were you saying about Puffy?
Yeah, I was just finishing up. You know, I feel like all of this he knew was coming down the pike. You know what I mean? And he needed to close off any any way that people can start figuring like these things out. And if people want to come back to and find these things for later, that's why, you know, if Jamie Foxx is over here videoing like these crazy parties, oh, we got to get them videos. We can't have him, or possibly it coming out later that these videos show something that's untowards to women or about him. And that's why he wanted all these old artists to hey, I'm gonna give you your publishing bag, but sign these NDAs, right? So that you don't talk about nothing that has to do with Bad Boy, like anything. And I feel like that was supposed to be like his play was, oh, I can shut everybody up.
You know what? That might be it, because at the end of the day, and I will say this, you know, people always being like, oh, Illuminati this, Illuminati that. But I gotta tell y'all, like, I just don't think that anything's off the table anymore. Because honestly, that's what Cassie, the candles, the filming. For now on with Diddy, I'm like, and Jamie Foxx and everybody in the whole clique, they were into some dark stuff. You really never know. I do think it's odd that everybody around Diddy is like the angel of death. Everything he touched, like, it's weird. It's weird. But then just hear me out on this, right? You know how like there's always that thing that's said about narcissists that most people that like date narcissists, that if they can't escape and they've dated them for like a decade or more, they usually end up deleting themselves, because narcissists are they don't see you as real. So they have a sick fascination with seeing how much they can push you, you know? It could be that maybe he does have narcissistic tendencies, or maybe he's evil and he gets everybody around him on illicit substance. You know what I'm saying? Like he basically acts like the devil and introduces them down wrong roads, and they already have like emotional issues. I actually don't know what's going on with that Jamie Foxx thing, because Jamie Foxx just got sued too, but he's saying there's nothing to it and nobody's believing it. But I don't know, because Jamie Foxx used to be, well, I don't know if he was on that stuff, but the streets are saying he was on that stuff. So you know how that is. Let me ask y'all a question. And this is really quick. So they said one accuser alleges that Devontae Swing of Jodeci told her he saw a tape of her and Diddy. And another accuser alleges that Diddy and Aaron Hall raped her. And in the interview, Aaron Hall said, I like to F in public, ask Jodeci and Puffy. They've seen me F. No, I think these accusers are the same person. I think that it's just like, it's a wrap. But also Devontae Swing, wasn't there also rumors about him? And has anybody asked, why are y'all watching the tape of people you know? Like,
was Devontae the one that liked to beat up women?
I don't know about Jodeci. I don't know, but I know I heard rumors about when I was talking to my girlfriends earlier. But I do know this, though. I think all of them just might be that crew, because let's be real. Even if you're into watching that, Okay, fine. Maybe you don't know Cassie, but would you watch a tape of your friend? It just be like, Diddy,
Right.
move your booty out the way. Ew, stop. Yuck. Zoom in, zoom
But you know
out.
what?
Like,
I was gonna say, Tisa, one thing too. I'm
I
gonna let
know.
everybody. Hey, girl. Hey. Miss Tisa.
Yes.
You know, I was gonna say one thing I think that we missed a little bit was that in an interview with Aaron Hall, he also said that I can't use the language; it was too crazy. But he also said that if a woman is with him, don't want to go for days. I believe he said days in the interview. That
Yeah.
matches up with the law, what Cassie was saying about being, you know, in these things where you have to be in there for 72 hours and all type of stuff. So in that interview, he said he wanted the woman to go for days.
Yeah.
He
Was
did.
he did. Did the woman go, oh.
Yeah, because he was saying that, you know,
Oh.
if the woman is not going to be sort of agreeing to, you know, being down to go and have, you know, be in this situation with him, making love or whatever you want to call it, for days, he said days in that interview, then he wouldn't want to be, you know, be with them, whatever. So he said days in that thing.
I mean, listen, everything is up on the table. Aaron Hall is a deviant.
You know
He's a
what?
deviant.
To me, he gives me Rumpelstiltskin. You know, he gives me leather, you know, Lizard King, you know, old man craziness, all that kind of stuff. He's a hot mess. You know, I would say this too. You know
Yeah.
what? For me, Karen Steffens, you know, was a book called Video Vixen. I'm not sure if you remember this was 20 years ago. She kind of told the world this is what was happening behind the scenes. She said she was basically the pass around. Well, I can't use the language of what they call her in the industry because it was a derogatory term. But her name was Karen Steffens. She was on Tyra's show. Her book was The Video Vixen, and she
Is that
had
the girl that
claimed
dated Bill Maher?
she dated Bill Maher. She claimed she was with Ja Rule. So many people, all the industry. Every video set she went to, she was with these people, passed around, and she was.
Okay.
Yes, the book was very salacious, and people were very angry about it. But
What's her book called again? Sorry to interrupt. What's her book called again?
Video Vixen,
Confessions of a Video Vixen.
There we go.
Okay.
So that was about 20 years ago, and she already in that book described some of these acts that she went through. So it wasn't a shock for me that when that paper came out, it kind of connected with her book. So that's why for me it's sort of like it feels very reminiscent. But also I want to say too, in entertainment, because I was watching this documentary. Yeah, I know. I didn't want to say the name. I don't like to call women that name, but that was the name the industry gave her. But we also had to remember since the beginning of time in entertainment, there was this thing called the casting couch. Now, for me personally, I'm not opposed to somebody being ambitious. You can be as ambitious as a man, woman, or whatever you want. Do whatever you want, but you got to have choice. You should not be violated and treated like a piece of meat.
Exactly.
I think that if you want to have a good time, have a good time. But when to get to the place that the woman was describing, where you're having surgeries and it's being taken out, you're being, basically almost a zombie in the middle of this haze of violence and all type of depravity, that doesn't seem very empowering. It seems very just like some kind of sick, sadistic thing going on. But I remember Marilyn Monroe was a picture, and all her, at least in the depiction of that picture, every time she went to audition, they literally wanted some kind of favor from her. So I think that for me, this has been going on for over 80 years. And I remember Mariah Carey, because I again, like you, Tisa, I kind of study these different things too. When the Me Too movement came out, she had told the reporter, she said, well, what's happening in Hollywood is pretty bad, but don't let them come to the music industry. She said it on camera. She did. So she basically kind of was, giving us a little insight that the music industry is darker than what the girls or the women, everybody going to do in Hollywood. So, it's always been there, this kind of thing. I think that, I mean, me and you kind of were talking a little bit. That's why we were talking a little bit. I think that for me, it's just weird that it doesn't matter what race, what age, whatever, that when you become powerful in whatever industry you're in, you seem to want to debase people, to, use them, to break them. I think that what you said earlier was really spot on, that, some people probably won't get attracted to people who are on their level. They literally are like predators going after people to get their fix. And they go and search for these people that they are in these relationships or whatever. And they want to sort of, break those up and do these kind of things. And, it seemed very believable to me. I don't, and also, what the final nail in the coffin was that the lawsuit was, what was it? It was settled so fast. So I think that so that was what was for me. So if you're really not guilty and you don't have a guilty conscience and you went out here destroying people, you would have not settled that case. You would have done like what was his name? Johnny Depp, basically. Johnny Depp was out there. Johnny Depp last year or some other year, he was with Amber Heard. He was having this big trial, and he wanted to clear his name. He could have went that same route too. He could say, "Look,
there's a funny thing. I agree with you guys about him settling so quick, but the thing I think everybody is also missing is he hired a criminal defense lawyer. He actually hired the best criminal defense lawyer New York City has. I thought that was an interesting move. Also, here's the thing with settling. Once Cassie came out with her accusations, because people are like, oh, well, he didn't want to go to discovery, which I don't think he did. But once Cassie came out with her accusations, every lawyer knows you can't just, after it's out, you just can't roll over. You gotta wait for the public to rip her apart, do PR campaigns, get bots, do this and that. And then when you finally settle, it's like, okay, thank you. Like, it's one of those neutral things and this, and maybe you can get them to write something like, okay, we withdraw our claims, or I just want this matter to rest. The fact that he settled it so quickly with such a high-powered lawyer lets you know that Cassie came with some information that was not in that complaint that woke him up. Again, she's been with Diddy for 10 years. And again, I will always maintain this. In America, proving SA or grape with your partner that you have been with long-term and you keep going back to them, and that person is almost a billionaire, good luck. Good luck. It's first of all, it's even hard to prove. What evidence do you have? Like what? It's just hard to prove. Even the abuse, but unless somebody witnessed it, because all of Cassie's incidences were them being alone and maybe a random security guy. But again, it would have just been hard to prove. And even the evidence of it, Diddy could have bankrupted her. This trial could have gone on for 3 years. They could have literally, by the end of it, they would have had Diddy up there saying it was her idea to wear white nail polish. I don't like that stuff. I'm not into that stuff. He would have been crying on the thing about how Cassie was the actual predator and she was the mastermind behind all this, because Cassie was ordering stuff out of mail order catalogs. It sounds ridiculous, but a good lawyer would have flipped the case and been like, no, Cassie was with the ish and giggles. Like she was with it. So my whole point of the matter is, I think whatever, to your point, he rolled over quickly, but I think whatever happened was she gave something that was so bad that he just he lost his mind. He did. And in 24 hours, against counsel's advice, ain't no way in the world the counsel said settle within 24 hours. He gave her, because you're right, it opened the floodgates. But
Tisa, I want to ask you one thing before I let other people. Don't you believe, because you listen, that's why I love, you're doing such a good job. I told you this, and I'm loving, because your perspective is really, well, you know what? I think you have a really interesting perspective because of who you are and how you're right in this. So my thing is, and I would ask the audience and you, I feel I've watched different conversations with different moguls, different, just people, guys, whatever. And they always fantasize about the yesteryear, about, the Red Foxes and just different characters who did very shady things and these legends of what they did with women. And I feel like what happens is when they become powerful, they also want to say, well, I'm going to be this generation's, whatever this person is, but I'm going to have a whole house. Because Sanford and Son was a comedy show, and that man, he had a whole house full of Asian women all the time. That was his. Well, you look it up online. That was his fetish. He would just do this kind of.
Oh, really? In real life? Okay.
Oh, yes. Okay. That was his fetish of mini parties and those kind of stuff. So sometimes you see documentaries with Snoop Dogg or just other people, other artists. They'd be like, oh, these guys were so crazy back in the day, and they want to compete. And so I feel like sometimes now people just going a little crazy, because this kind of idea of exploiting women is not new. It's kind of, and sometimes the guys in the industry seem to sort of put it on a pedestal, like, oh, we got to push the limit. We got to go to the next level. We got to get even more raunchy and crazy. And for me, it feels like when you get powerful, when you become powerful, that's kind of the thing that you idolize. In a way, you decide that you want to kind of be like these myths that you heard about in the past in Hollywood and entertainment. And because it makes no sense to me why you become that powerful and become that mean and depraved. I don't understand it. But I've seen these guys in documentaries and stuff saying how much they love these myths and in yesteryear and all these different parties that people used to have and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I believe in the Illuminati, and I know Tisa don't, but I really think that those things are the things that they do. You know what I mean? Like they pass it on to the next generation. And I feel like when Diddy's doing all these tapes and he's recording all these things, it's so that he can keep something on you. That's how they keep their power.
I think, honestly, first of all, let me thank Copper on Fire for the super chat. You said Diddy probably messed that boy up somehow. I hope not, but time will tell. Thank you, Tisa, for keeping it real. Appreciate you. You know how I think the number one way he probably, and thank you so much for the super chat, Copper on Fire, that he messed his kids up. I'm not suggesting at all that Diddy is like, I'm not going there. I am saying that how can someone not mess their child up when their mommy's walking around with a broken face? Like, it boggles my mind that we all grew up with our parents. We all knew when our mom and dad were arguing, right? We all had to eat dinner when like our mom was mad at our dad, and you'd be like, "Can you please apologize to her?" Like, how? Ugh, she's serving us dog food. We all literally, you know when something's off with your parents. Now, that's just like dumb arguments that couples go through and they're trying to act like everything. You know something's off. Imagine when it's so toxic that somebody's doing this, that your mom's not allowed to talk to men, your mom's not allowed to do this, your mom's not. How could the kids not be messed up seeing that? That's traumatic. Like, how? They either would grow up thinking, yeah, that's the way women are treated. So they're messed up in the mind, or they're just like, yo, that's not right. But with the Illuminati thing, I will say this. I honestly feel like, you know, you cannot tell me that Puffy was not filming Cassie and using those tapes to close business deals and also sending them to people. I think it was beyond like, oh, that's what we're into. I really think he used it as like power trips. You know, when you read a lot of articles about like the U.S. Attorney's Office and when they close like certain rings and whatnot, the new thing now for the rich and powerful is if I got money and you got money, like, what are we going to do? Just keep passing money back and forth? But what do I have? I have a videotape of this girl that you think is pretty putting one leg up. You can't get her to put one leg up. Do you want to see this tape? They start trading things that their money can't buy. A video like that would be something that money can't buy. Now you could ask, well, maybe if you go in and tell Cassie, I'll give you $1 million if you put one leg up on me. Maybe she'd do it. Or maybe she'd be like, how dare you? Who are you? No. Or maybe she just doesn't want to. Maybe she's doing it because she genuinely felt back then she liked Puffy. But I genuinely think that, again, the more money people get, you know, it's like, you ever have like a really, really rich friend? Like, I mean, like not somebody, I mean like a wealthy friend, like their father owns like all the oil transactions in the country, right? When somebody has that much wealth, or even just take it down to somebody that just father might be worth like, I don't know, 500 million, right? Oh, I know, a crazy amount of money, but you know, it's not like they're like a billionaire. What are you going to get them for Christmas? Are you going to say, let's just say you're dating them. Are you going to save up your pennies and go and what? Get them a Gucci belt? A pair of Balenciaga sunglasses? What? You will kill yourself to buy them what? A jacket that's $8,000. They don't care. They can wipe their butts with that jacket. It's just like, oh, thanks. But you know, for people like that, what means a lot? You literally for Christmas making them some homemade jam and putting it in a bottle, making some banana bread. You literally being like, hey, I made this for you. Because once you get a certain amount of time, it becomes about experiences that money can't buy. And when you look at what rich people do, they always try to get experiences that like you can't be bought with money. They want something real authentic. So it just makes you think that Puffy used Cassie, and I think it's a bunch of other women too. Probably, in my opinion, there's probably not a Cassie, because maybe he wanted Cassie to be on his arm, but maybe after Cassie left him, he learned this lesson about, okay, let me keep all these girls in the background, right? I really honestly think that there's like, he uses that as like bargaining chips, open deals, close deals, get information, do this, do that. And it sounds crazy, but this isn't even Illuminati. Most criminal networks that they bust, they trade stuff. They trade that type of, and you know, it come to find out that like a lot, this is the last thing I'll say because it's about to go real dark, but a lot of those like, you know, films you see that are P films that are very, very graphic, you know, very vulgar, a lot of them are actually Cassies, but not well-maintained Cassies. So when you see someone that is in like a grape fantasy scene, right? 9 times out of 10, they actually are being graped. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They are workers, but they are there, but it's being done against their will. So it's like, it's more common than we think. And it definitely happens. I just think that he was doing that, but instead of like circulating it off of like 128th Ave, he was giving it to like his, again, I don't even want to say elites, just bargaining chips, you know? And also I do think that he was using Cassie as a honeypot, you know? 50 Cent's getting that video, I do not think was an accident. I think because he's been trying to get a 50. He even wanted to take that man shopping. I think it's all, you know, I don't know. Puffy is just a sick dude. The real question is, and I want to hear what y'all got to say about this. And also, Lisa, jump in the conversation. And also, Lola, Lita, I haven't heard from you. Here's what I think. What the thing with Puffy? What do y'all think about these rumors about Puffy being an informant or fed or working with law enforcement in some way? What do y'all think about that?
I believe it.
Well, I was gonna say I'm from New York City. You know, I'm born and bred, so this is no shock to us. You know what
really
Diddy has done. This is really not a shock.
Do tell.
Well, because we've heard the stories, we heard the rumors. You know, we see the evil. You know, with Aaron Hall. Okay, he just looked creepy. You know, I actually ran into him in like the late 80s, and he was at a club I was going to, and he was in a fur coat. I didn't recognize him at the time. My friend pointed him out. I said, ew, worse even in person. But my whole thing is that for us, a lot of people in New York, this is not a surprise. You know, we're not really shocked, you know. I think we may be shocked of the depth of it.
Yeah.
You know, but we all knew Diddy wasn't on the up and up. We all knew Diddy was about as crooked as an S letter, you know. And I think a lot of people, and you asked a question about a feds, but I think a lot of people, I think it's kind of missing the bigger picture.
What's
because, you know, we're all speculating that nothing's happening criminally. But if the Fed, because he's already in the Fed's crosshair because of the Tupac thing. So once you're in the Fed's crosshair, that's it. You in the Fed's crosshair, you know? So we do not know what they're actually doing behind the scenes because there's a lot of noise that's being made right now. You know, I'm not going to say yay. I'm not going to say nay, but I do feel it funny because the chickens are coming home to roost, and I knew it was a matter of time.
See, here's the thing. I tend to agree with you about that because a lot of people said that like, oh, all this stuff happened long ago, so they can't bring up criminal charges. I think that if you were doing all this stuff 10 years ago, you are still doing mess. And the feds have started investigating you. And okay, maybe they can't get you from a crime 10 years ago. But that's the thing, right? Whenever and this is the thing with Puffy, right? Whenever you have a crime, and let's just say that like, you know, you boosting clothes in like 98 and selling them, and then you boosting clothes in 2005 and 2006. And finally they catch you in 2021. They do an investigation, you boosting clothes, right? With the statute of limitations, they can literally look at boosting clothes as one crime. And when they caught you in 2003, they can get you for all the boosting that you've been doing since like 1998. The feds will they literally are they will make up a law to put you in jail, right? Like, new law. So I agree with the Puffy thing that they are currently investigating him. But I do think that if you are that bold to be committing those crimes, you're still doing it. And they are looking into it. Also, really quick, I want to say thank you to Lisa Jackson. She said, I'm from New York and he is weird. Also, Mr. G1804, thank you for the super chat, said Trump's alleged PP tape. Yes, we'll talk about that. But here's the thing. We don't know what he did in that tape. But if you guys want the tea on that, right? And this has actually been confirmed. You can Google it. So apparently, Trump was always super, super tight with Putin, right? This is before, of course, we were at war with. Are we at war? Well, I guess the global South is rising, so you could say we're at war, but it's more of a Cold War, a war of attrition. Okay, so this is like when Obama was president, right? And Putin was always really tight with Trump. Some people said because, you know, Trump Towers always lost money. When you embezzle money, if you guys don't know, you find a business that from the outside looks like it should be doing good, but their books are a mess. Like Trump's business things. He has a big thing about Trump. And then you invest money in it. But with the money laundering, you know, everything costs 10 times 20 more. A toilet costs 20,000 to put in instead of 200, blah, 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 blah. And it escapes under even the IRS's radar because people will be like, yo, it's Trump Towers. It's a hotel. Of course they're spending this much money, just like all his casinos and stuff. Okay, so forget all that. So the tea on Trump is Trump was always flying back and forth to have meetings with Putin. Again, Putin, his oligarch team, all this other stuff. It's unknown whether he actually got an audience with Vladimir Putin, because you know Putin don't play that, right? But there's a million, all his oligarchs have money, so he's flying out there. There's a hotel that is owned by Putin. Every time he goes, he wants to stay in a certain suite. Putin got him by saying like, yo, this is a suite even Obama didn't have the guts to stay in here. It's at heart of Moscow. So Trump's like, oh, no, I want to stay there. I want to stay there. I want to stay there. So he stayed there. The thing is, he wanted to, Obama stayed there, but I think they ended up moving because they found out the whole suite was like being surveilled because of course, right? Putin, like he's not dumb. So anyway, the rumor is that he requested to stay in the same suite that Obama stayed at before Obama moved hotels. And he wanted to be in the same bed. This was like a demand. And he hired a bunch of prostitutes to sprinkle him in the bed because that's what he was into. The thing is, the rumor is that's caught on tape. However, one thing that we can be uncertain, I don't know whether he bought prostitutes there and all this other stuff, but it has 100% been confirmed in all of the, the intelligence that he stayed in those suites and those suites were heavily monitored. So it don't matter where he was walking around scratching his behind side or burping into the camera. Everything he did in those suites were monitored. Again, it's very common. That's why how Putin allegedly blackmails people. Can Putin sue me? Do I have to say allegedly?
I don't think so.
Well, Tia, you said something. You said something in your video that in one of your videos. Now I had it in my head. Now I forgot it. You said something in your video. I can't remember what it was. I just had it there for a second. Oh well, dementia. It'll come back to me. But in New York, do you realize that we used to call Diddy the sample king?
What do you mean?
Because all the songs that he's done with, especially with Notorious B.I.G., have always been samples.
Yeah, because he take from everybody else. Take that.
Well, we called him the sample king. That's the sample king of New York, right there.
Oh wow!
Before Kanye, there was Puffy.
Oh, listen, I'm a big fan of Kanye. He takes it and makes it into something beautiful. But I was never a fan of Bad Boy Records. I missed that whole 90s thing. I'm just like, whatever, you know.
I loved it. But I ain't gonna lie.
Maybe at the time, get the 90s back, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
listen.
It's a
I
possibility.
recognize that people love Diddy supremacy. But again, you know, and that's the thing that makes musicians and this industry so dangerous. It's the way actors and musicians and whatnot. You guys, if you're not talking, just mute your mic. But it's like the way actors and stuff, like have so much power, because when you can make people feel so, even politicians, the best politicians, they are crazy, but they make you feel something. They connect to you emotionally, and you'll be like ready to burn the world down with them. The best musicians make you feel something. That's why people are so tied to music on Forgive. Same thing with actors. You really see a role that just like makes you feel something, and you start to feel like that person is that person. Again, it's a lot of power to be artistic and creative and make people feel. We just need more laws on what they can do, more sampling. But like Mel actually rightly pointed out, a lot of them, like, they're chomping at the bit to get into that industry because that's what attracted them. The fact that they can wild out and treat people bad and do this and do that. Copper on Fire said, good evening, Tisa. The blank acts Diddy is into is called cuckolding. Where the woman likes to have other men and the male partner likes to watch. See? Thank you. There you have it. I think that Young Miami right now feels like she is in complete control because of what is going on. And meanwhile, she don't realize that Diddy is going to spin that out of control. I pray that's what it is. I pray Young Miami is not subjugated and doing this, because at the end of the day, I make jokes of being like, yo, you need to do a Cassie and sue him. But honestly, it took Cassie 10 years and countless therapy sessions and a husband that loved and supported her and 2 kids that fulfilled her for her to be like, you know what? I'm going to go do it. So,
I have a different view on why Miami's staying, and also with JT. She's always, her and JT are both always bragging about, you didn't think I could pull a dude like this, because usually Little Uzi's into like alt girls, like kind of like rocker black chicks. I don't want to be offensive, so the descriptors. So the descriptors that I'm about to use, I don't want anyone to take offense to them. It's just the best way I know how to communicate what I'm talking about. Okay. So usually Uzi's into like black, like rocker chicks, like kind of like I'm different black girls, you know what I mean? And JT was always bragging like, "Oh, you never thought that Uzi would want a girl like me, a black ghetto chick, and all this stuff." And same with Carisha. She makes that like a badge of honor. She's like, "Oh, Diddy's always getting with these super feminine, classy chicks. I'm a hood bitch or whatever, and he want me, and y'all mad." I think that that's where it comes from. I don't like. I do think that what you're saying is true to some level, but I think that she just doesn't want to be embarrassed, because when Diddy first got with her, everybody was like, Carisha did like that don't go together, and she took great offense to that, and she was always like, oh, you don't think I'm good enough for Diddy? I'm good enough for Diddy. I'm like, just because I'm a black ghetto chick and all this other stuff. She used to go off about that heavily. And now anytime anybody criticizes her, she's just like, oh, you didn't think that he would want me? I can pull this rich dude too. I think that has a lot to do with it as well.
Okay, I see what you're saying. That's an interesting theory. Here's my thing. First of all, Star Trek ambassador said differences, Kanye makes a sample, makes it into something different and beautiful. Out of it, chef's kiss. Diddy don't change Jack, and I agree. Okay, yes. So we will, yes. But chef's kiss. But here's what I'll say about Young Miami. And first of all, I'll just say it. Young Miami, and first of all, JT is the Barbie. JT is beautiful. She is the Barbie. She is the doll. Young Miami's beautiful too, but JT is like the Barbie. I feel like a lot of people really downplay how big they are internationally. Maybe if you were trying to get like in the black manosphere or the raposphere, maybe they feel like, oh my God, you didn't think. But I 100% think that there are probably a few Saudi princes, a few Eastern European barons, a few Czechoslovakian Caesars, a few Russian czars that would be happy, loving it, to walk in with JT or Carisha on their arm. See, here's the thing, right? In America, I feel like we tend to be like, because it's racism, right? Where if anybody sounds like they're not like Hillary Banks, oh, you're not this, you're not that, you don't deserve this. But when you go overseas, the same way somebody will come to our country with a thick ass accent, we can't tell they're from the slums of Czechoslovakia. We just know that she got a cute Eastern European accent. When somebody comes, we're just like, ooh, right? I mean, I don't really like the French accent.
I know
Right?
that.
No, hear me on this one, right? I know you're not trying to say that, but what I'm trying to say is, I know with JT and whatever, I know they have a lot of foreign dudes in their inboxes. They have to, because overseas they love the city girls. There's a reason why Puffy picked JT. There's a reason why he picked her. Because I'm not JT, Carisha. JT was like into Uzi, and I actually, when they started dating, JT wasn't even available. But there is a reason why he picked Carisha, because the city girls' impact overseas is even bigger than it is in America. So it's kind of like, that's what puzzles me about JT, because if you know what I knew, it's like, JT, I know for a fact you can get somebody else that, again, I'm not saying actually richer than Puffy, but even if they're not richer, they're still rich enough for you. And the lifestyle Puffy gives you, you can easily get it with this guy. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why it puzzles me that she doesn't jump ship, because you can do better. You can do better.
That's what I'm trying to explain. They don't know that. Like, I'm not trying to downplay them at all, but because in America they're looked so down upon that they don't realize their worth, and they think that being with Uzi or being with Puffy is the badge of honor. I think that that's a big part of why they stay, is what I'm saying.
Maybe
because they don't understand. I feel like they don't understand that they could get way better, and that's why. And I think that's also a part of the reason. I know that them wrapping up their careers and their men is also a part of the reason, but I think that them not realizing their worth is also kind of what kind of hit their career a little bit, because it's like, JT, you a city girl. You supposed to been done left Uzi for that. Carisha, you a city girl. You supposed to been done. Like, you preaching, but you ain't practicing. And I think that's what a lot of that kind of hit them too. I just think that they kind of came out faking it, and then they made it, and then people realized they were faking, kind of thing, is what I'm saying.
You know what? I do agree with you. It's like the city girls, but anybody's a true city girl knows a true city girl like settles down on some shorties.
Well, I know that they'll settle down, but
I know.
But like Carisha, especially, like she could like.
We're gonna give JT a break, because JT, honestly, she got out of jail, so I just figured she's not thinking clearly. Because
JT can get her a nice man from Samsung in Korea. I'm just saying.
JT is the doll. Every time I see her, I'm like, how is this woman so beautiful? She is the doll, and she just like, she looks like a living Bratz doll naturally. So it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, and did you hear what she said about Uzi? What he told her?
What?
He said that she said that Uzi called her crunchy black, she ugly, ain't nobody gonna like her, and that she's lucky that he likes her. He called the girl crunchy black and said that she should be lucky.
Hold on. Let's get back to the Petty thing.
I'm just saying.
But on the Uzi thing, Uzi got a lot of nerve, because Uzi, first of all, Leslie, I think, like, you like men, and second of all, he literally stole Britney's whole style. He literally morphed into Britney.
He really did.
He got nerve. Like, Uzi, looking like a gremlin. Anyway, it's always the men that look like that, with his little emo metro station side swept bang, talking about I'm Leslie. Okay, Uzi. Anyway,
I am gonna say this though, and I wish Young Miami the best. I don't wish you no harm, but when you intentionally dance with the devil, you know, the devil comes back and pays his dues.
Hi, Tisa. I miss you, Tisa. How are you? I didn't
Hi,
know you.
Anthony. Really quick, let's get a word from Anthony. How are you doing, Anthony?
Thank you. I'm doing so good. I'm so angry because my main IG got suspended, Tisa. I'm pissed.
No.
Copyright.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Anyway, you can add me at Anthony. I don't know if it's okay if I can promote my IG backup. Is that my?
Yeah, please do, Anthony.
Yes, my IG backup is at Anthony's Country Backup. It's full. It's Anthony's Country, but with the backup because I have my backup page. It's crazy. Yeah.
I will follow you. Anthony's Country Backup.
It's all lowercase. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm trying my very best to get my main IG back, but it's going to take a while, Tisa, because I love you too. I'm not giving up, Tisa.
Oh,
don't worry about a thing, because
okay. So listen.
It's gonna be all right.
Okay. So listen. Thank you. Hold on really quick. Let's get, hey, Mo Shannon. Hey, Drew Truther. Do you guys want to jump in and say anything?
Hi, Tisha.
Hi.
I mean, is it Tisa? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Tisa. It's fine.
Tisa. It's Tisa, like Lisa. Girl, I love you. I love you. I've been trying to call in. As far as this stuff with Diddy is concerned, I agree with that lady at the top.
Lisa.
The one this is old news. I'm Gen X. I don't know if you are. This is so old. This is Diddy, this stuff with Diddy, we been new. It's some we's out here that been new. And it's just like the thing with R. Kelly. I'm from Chicago. I'm out the Chi. And I personally know people who personally knew R. Kelly. They went to school with him. We used to go up to Hyde Park, Kenwood High School, right around it's an area in Chicago around where University of Chicago, all that stuff is. And it's a school over there where R. Kelly used to drive through routinely and scope the girls. I used to go to, my girlfriend used to date a lot of ballers, and we used to go to gyms. R. Kelly would be in them gyms. And Sean Puffy, he New York. I don't know New York like I know Chi because I'm from Chi, but it's the same story. It's got the same smell.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted to, if I could piggyback on what you're saying and what people were saying before about the honeypot and the blackmail, it's the same thing as with Epstein, somebody providing a service, an illegal service to people who are into those things, but are so used to people serving them, they can't even go out and get it on their own. So it's like Epstein had a lot of power because he had a lot of blackmail. I think that Puffy has a lot of power because there's a lot of blackmail. Using Cassie and other women as honeypots, I think that the men. I think that a lot of men are into rape, and a lot of men are down low. So I think that he has a lot of stuff on men who are down low, and a lot of men who may have been, raping Cassie while she was unconscious, even though it might have looked consensual, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm guessing that a lot of these men aren't standing up because they either slept with Cassie or some kind of other passed out girl, or they did some stuff with men that they thought would be a secret, and now it's coming out, and they because only the women are saying.
You bring up a good point, because exactly the same way people say that Epstein was some type of CA. And Apple Cinnamon, J9 Eva, I'll let you guys up in a second. Just have to let some people out the chat. But the way that people said that Epstein was a plant because his whole point was to get powerful people in compromising situations. Maybe if you go by that, maybe Diddy actually is something like that too, but more for the hip hop thing, because the whole Northeast, East Coast, West Coast, he pretty much controlled, he pretty much controls East Coast. So maybe they were doing that to actually get more information. That's actually a really, really, really Good
Tisa,
point.
can I ask you a big question? Do
Go ahead.
you think Young Miami will likely press charges against Diddy sooner or later? I'm so curious.
Who?
Young
Honestly, she's
Miami.
smart. Young Miami she's within the statute of limitations, so she can press charges whenever she wants. Like, it's not like Cassie that had to wait. Like, people keep forgetting Young Miami can have an active case if she wants. And she could be waiting and watching. But again, I don't know.
She better not take too long.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. That's
How
true.
She
long
won't
do
have
you
no money.
have?
She better not. So listen, I have to let a few people out of this. Dale, Lisa, Mel, Miss Crazy. I just need to make room for 2 other people. Or
All
if
right,
anybody wants to
and that I come back a little bit sooner. Okay,
Okay.
thank you for having me.
Well, I was going to
Okay,
say too,
thank
this was good to call in. I'm going to actually retire, but it was, listen, I love the live, and yeah, have a good night.
Mel,
Talk
we
to you
loved
soon.
having you call in. Don't leave so soon. We loved having you call
Okay.
in.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh.
J. Eve, welcome, welcome,
Hello.
welcome. And actually, Presley, I'm going to take you out. Just dial back in. Okay.
I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hello? Or Presley, no?
Oh no, I said okay.
Oh, wait, no, Presley. Wait, Presley, did you actually get a chance to talk? No, right?
That was just me that was talking about Epstein and Diddy and everything else.
Oh, okay. No, sorry. I was looking at Lita. That was you. Hold on, Presley.
Okay.
I have some questions for you. Let's see who can.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who hasn't talked? Jay Truther, did you have a chance to talk?
I had a question.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, hold on really quick. Lisa, I'm going to take you down really quick and just dial back in, okay? Just
Okay.
want to get in. 1 second.
Yeah, I'm calling it a night. So,
Oh, okay.
I'm glad to catch you alive.
All right. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you. We had so much, and thank you for sharing what you knew about what's going on in these New York streets, okay? Thank you.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, so hold on. So we have Presley, Mel, Lita. 1 second. Apple Cinnamon. Hey, Apple Cinnamon.
Hey,
and
girl.
J. Eve. And Lisa, of course. Okay, so we'll do this. So why don't we do J. Eve, Apple Cinnamon, and then Lisa. And then wrap it up with Mel and Presley. I just had a few questions for them. Okay, so hi, J. Eve. How are you?
Hey, Tisa, what's going on, girl?
What's going
I'm gonna
on?
tell you, Carisha is young, and she don't know Diddy. Like,
Okay.
I'm 45. I know Diddy. Okay.
Okay.
This man is incorrigible. She's thinking like a young girl would. Oh, I could change him. I could change. He gonna be different from me. But I'm gonna tell you something I noticed about Carisha, right? She says stuff, 'cause, the city girl, all that stuff. I've heard her say, that she likes, basically like backdoor activity. Like I've heard her say that, right? And when they say these things to sound real freaky, basically just
Wait, she
playing up
likes
this.
giving or receiving?
No, like getting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Go.
like that she's into that kind of play. But then after she said that,
Go on. I'm like, oh, that's real.
yeah, but after she said that, I've heard her on the show, like somebody pointed it out and asked her about it. So you into this, da 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 da, and she's like, no, not really. And so I'm like, she's pretending.
Yeah.
To she's like saying that she's saying I like all these freaky things. So it's almost like she's coping. Like she's saying that she likes the stuff that Diddy makes her do. That is like literally what I'm getting. It's like she's gonna wake up one day rocking in a fetal position in a corner like this.
Yeah.
So yes, she is going to do. There's going to be some legal stuff behind Carisha soon. I don't know about soon, but eventually, for sure. I mean, yeah.
I hope that she is. I do think you bring up a lot of good points. I actually do think that right now she thinks she's in control. And this is the whole thing about people should not be dating people double your age, because like you said, no matter how much game you got, they got more. And they got double. And they got issues. And they got problems,
Exactly.
It's like, And Diddy, you're right. But the fact of, I can see Carisha posturing like, yeah, I'm into this, because it's part of even the city girl mystique. You know what I'm saying? The same way, like, you're not going to get like a rapper that's talking about moving keys to sit there and be like, well, I actually don't like to sleep with the lights off. You know, they got to keep it
Right.
you know? In the same way.
Oh my God.
You know, the city girl's got a city girl. It's all fantasy about whatever. But I agree with you. She might think he loved me. I'm different. There was something where people, when this first broke, people were under her page like, yo, you okay? This and that. And she's like, you under the wrong B's page. It's like nobody wants to admit that they're being treated badly. Even though I will say this, right? And I am a fan of the city girls. After this mess came out, when I was, you know, me being nosy, scrolling through her page, seeing if we can find it. This is when it first broke. I was looking at her page of like, you know, her showing off everything Diddy got her. And that's when I realized Diddy's done. Because there's no one anymore that can flex on the way he spoils them without you looking like, and what you have to do for that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like once you realize what's going on in Dubai and you see your favorite influencers there every other weekend, and you're just like, You know, I'm not saying they're doing that, but it just it puts a cloud on everything. You know what I'm saying? So
I think she also probably has to try a little harder, or feels like she does too, because she doesn't fit his normal stereotype of chick that he dates. So I think like she's probably shocked herself that she's the chick. You know, like, so she's even probably coping even more so. You know, so like I said, there will be a lawsuit later for sure, because she's gonna be the most traumatized.
I hope she does too, but that's my thing. That's all Diddy cares about, the money. As far as her not being his type, did he ever? What's Misa Hilton Brim like?
What's what?
What Misa? His first baby's mom.
She got good hair. You know that.
You know what? Most of the most of the time they need.
Stop.
It's not so much
that I wasn't talking about hair. I was talking about the way she carries herself. But I don't
Girl.
We like him to act a little hood. We just like him to look like, you know, what they call the.
Wait, that's the
term
key.
that they use.
That's the key. Misa, who said that? Misa Hilton Brand, y'all said she's quiet. Because
I did.
Every girl that he dates is very quiet. They might be boisterous indoors, but outside they're fine to be just. They're a little bit quiet.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah. It's me. Cinnamon.
He don't like women that are like social butterflies in everybody's face, but no. He likes women that just stay by him. They're happy to be like, you know, they're in their lane.
Isn't she so she's like opposite day then, right?
He likes them to look pretty, but be quiet. This is Apple Cinnamon. It's Danielle.
So somebody said this is just a hustle for Carisha. I hope it is. I really hope it is. This is just a hustle for Carisha. Let me just mute.
I don't think it is.
Like moving around. This is a hustle for Carisha. She knows he ain't ish and can't be trusted. She knows she's being treated better than Diddy's harem because he is a pawn to boost his spirit. Honestly, I hope it is just a hustle for her. I hope she's not getting the Cassie treatment. Like, I hope, and honestly, it couldn't happen to a worse person with Diddy. I hope she is getting him for everything she has. He's a horrible person. Okay, so JM said they don't know cancers. We don't give a F. Pay us. Y'all be saying that and be the biggest softies. If you ever want to see someone that lives by their heartstrings, go find you a cancer. But the cancer has to like you. Because when the cancer don't like you, then things become movable. Don't like you. Don't like you.
Cancer.
A cancer will lie on you. Like if they don't like you anymore, or if you did something to hurt their feelings, they'll go around and be like, Preston got herpes. That's what y'all do. I'm sorry.
We don't ignore you. It's like
that's me.
Yes, it is.
I'm a cancer.
We
that
treat
is
you
not
like
true.
you die.
I got a good friend that's a cancer. She might ride or die.
For now, she hurts
for
her
now,
feelings. And until she don't answer her phone, then she got herpes.
No, but I got her. I'm a Libra. I know how to balance that.
I am
No,
a
that's
I
Scorpio
am a
behavior.
Cancer.
That's
I
some
am a
Scorpio.
Cancer. That is
Let's
not
go to
true.
the Cancer. How are Cancer men? Answer for your brethren.
I don't know about Cancer men.
Oh yeah, I don't know about Cancer man. I'm a Cancer woman. I don't know about Cancer man. I don't know
Okay, you
anything
talking
about
about Cancer women? Okay, I can't speak for that.
No,
But
I
Cancer
want to
men,
say no.
that's
What are Cancer men like?
well.
I have no
Speaking from
idea.
personal, speaking from a personal standpoint, like somebody said in the chat that we can see you for who you really are. That is very true. But as far as Cancer men being vindictive, that's not our trait. We're not
Oh,
like
that's
that.
good to know.
You're not vindictive up front. Just like your
Let the Cancer
Scorpio brother, you
game.
do it in the back.
Hold
Stop
on.
it.
Let the
Okay,
Cancer
okay,
run the game. What else?
okay.
What else? What else?
Say that last. Okay, say the last part again.
So you said that Cancers aren't vindictive. What else?
But she is
other
right.
propaganda has been put out on you guys that you would like to correct?
We just hold a lot of stuff in, but she is right that we're more vindictive in the back, just not up
Like
front.
your Scorpio twin brother. Okay, come on.
I'll give you that.
Excuse me.
What are the good traits of Cancer men, though? Let's hear it. What are the good traits of Cancer men?
Money,
Loyalty,
y'all are snapping on
loyalty,
cancers.
money,
loyalty,
money,
loyalty,
money, money.
loyalty,
What in the world?
loyalty,
They'll give
loyalty.
you their food stamp card.
Which one
I
is
don't
it?
know. I feel a little taken
If they
you
broke.
guys.
I don't know
I
nothing about
feel
Cancer men.
Money.
convicted. Is this gonna be like a rom-com? Are y'all gonna fall in love on the Tattle Tells channel?
Wait,
I
hold
don't
up.
know nothing
No.
about it.
Right.
Sound like
Sound
it
like y'all
sound
need
it sound it sound more like we got an oil and water situation.
Nah.
It's an
Y'all,
oil and water
y'all,
situation.
y'all would give someone a nickel if y'all had a quarter. That's the good thing about y'all.
Oh, look,
Can I
she's talking
tell
to
something,
you.
ladies?
I don't know.
Ladies, can I
I
tell
don't
something?
know.
It
Ladies,
depends.
Can't be
can you
that
hear me?
bad.
That's
I'm
so
giving away
funny
the whole
because
quarter.
Can you hear me, ladies?
Wait a
I'm a
second.
Cancer.
Star Trek ambassador said Chloe Belly is the best example of a really sweet and edgy Cancer. I love Chloe Belly. Cancers own my heart. I love Chloe Belly. I love it. I love it. Even her treat me like you treat me. I like do it. Booty,
I like
booty,
her.
booty. I like
I got a
it. I like
question.
it. It's like
I
do
got a
it.
question.
Do it. Do it.
Excuse me. Sorry. Do y'all think Cassie Tony do y'all think Gloria Allred should be the perfect candidate to be Cassie's Tony?
Huh?
What?
Do you think Cassie will hire Gloria Allred as a
Oh,
Tony?
Gloria Allred. You know what? That's a good point. The thing is with Lori Harvey, I don't think she'll ever come out and speak on anything with Diddy. That's just not her style. It's not her steez. And to be honest with you, Lori Harvey has Steve and Marjorie. I think Marjorie is like the game master. I'm pretty sure that Diddy tried to groom her, and as soon as he came out with that weird stuff, she was like, whoop, check
Yep.
please.
Yep,
She
she's
was
not going.
something about Lori Harvey. She might have, she don't date anybody broke, but something tells me Lori Harvey dipped out as soon as things got weird because they were chilling for a second. He even met the mom and dad, which lets you know Lori is like, again, Marjorie raised her right to recognize game.
Right.
And the way you
Yeah,
do it,
and you could tell.
yeah, the way you do with Diddy to make it equal, it's like you're not impressing me flying me out to France. My mom got a summer house out there. But you know what? Come meet my parents. You know what I'm saying? And they're filling him out. I 100%. Diddy either bounced because he realized he couldn't try that weird stuff, or he tried it, and she was just like, and she was gone. I just don't see it.
And do y'all think the radio stations will stop playing Diddy's music? I'm being serious.
That's
Well,
what
I
I
want to
want to
start
know.
the petition for that because I don't even like his music. So I will start the
What
petition.
music?
There's that. I will sign it. I will
What
sign
music?
it.
Wouldn't it
Diddy's
be
music.
artist?
What music?
Diddy's music.
Diddy is.
Diddy has no music. He doesn't
I
have
He don't
mean,
anything.
have
He just takes from other
he
anything.
is
people.
gone.
That whole
I think that's why he
90s.
has Carisha, because he knows he's
Yeah.
deep down, he's gone and his day is over, and he's
He
trying to hold on to
don't have
relevance.
no music. It's always
He
somebody
ain't got no
else's
music.
music.
He made. I will sign the petition and be like, yes, remove everything off the station. What about 112? Take
But
them
then
off.
remember he collaborated with a lot of people. He collaborated with a lot of
Yeah,
people. So
most of his stuff is collabing.
I'm from New York. I'm from New York, and I'm telling you, the dude is weird. Matter of fact, I'm from Yonkers. Tell me who's from Yonkers. The dude is weird. Okay.
Yonkers. All right.
Wait,
But what
Tisa,
about?
have you
But what
seen that
about?
video with Sanaa Lathan and Diddy and French Montana?
Which
I
one?
No.
remember that. I know what you're talking
It's like
about.
it's a very short like Instagram clip. You can like Google it really quick. I guess it's really really short. It's like 15 seconds, but it looks like they were heading to a freak off. It was Sanaa Lathan. She looked very very inebriated, and Diddy was showing it off, and it like I'm
I know.
surprised she hasn't came out. Like
I know.
honestly,
But that was
Y'all don't
like
understand.
years
You don't
ago. That was
understand.
like
A
years
lot of
ago.
y'all are sitting.
I know it was
Y'all are
years ago, but
making.
I'm just saying.
Oh wait,
Y'all are
you guys,
saying.
listen. Wait, hold on. I just got a text. I have to go, everybody. Sorry, guys. I gotta go. I am super, super late. Listen, we are going to do this tomorrow night.
Bye,
Thank
Tish.
you. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody, though. I don't want to be rude. Lisa Jackson, Jay Naive. Jay Naive, thank you so much. Who's on YouTube? Who else needs to promote their channel? Jay Naive, are you a streamer? You got
Yes.
to set up.
I know her.
Love it.
I
Jay
know
Naive,
Jay
I
what's
gotta
your
catch
channel?
y'all next time too, Tisa. Because
What's
I
that?
was as Appleton. I said I gotta catch you next time because it muted my mic and I couldn't say anything. I was just tee hee hee and laughing in the background.
Oh, come on, Apple Cinnamon, please. No, hold on, really quick
No,
then.
girl, no,
Apple
no, you gotta
Cinnamon,
go.
please. What would you like to say?
Listen, I just wanted to say because I had to hop on here because this has bothered me the whole week with this
Okay.
whole Diddy thing. And then when it came out with Aaron Hall, I'm like, baby, he was in church singing at my aunt's wedding, and that wasn't the same person that I saw before. So this is what you turn into. That's why
Oh,
nobody talks to you
really?
anymore. He was quiet, maybe
Oh,
because he was quieter then, and now he got a little piece of fame and turned into a whole damn demon. But I was like, Diddy, we knew was weird. I'm from New York too. I don't live there anymore, but I'm from New York too, baby.
but everybody keeps
And they're
saying
weird.
weird. What? Can you explain that? Like,
He's weird
how?
because some people think like they'll think, oh, New York guys are weird. No, New York guys recognize how weird they are. Like they just do strange things. No one is running around calling nobody, yeah, daddy. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. If you, most of the guys that I know, if he would have ran and called him like daddy like that, they would have slapped him. You just don't. Like he's weird, and I wish he would just just be who he really wants to be, Butterfly,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
call it a day. Like this is no. He's not a representation.
And I can co-sign
New
that
York
too
dudes,
because I'm from
right?
Chicago, and the guys in Chicago don't talk like that
We
either.
don't. They don't do that. No, you do
It
not
just
catch them
don't.
talking
It's
like that.
not real.
And from also too, just saying like I'm 40. I'm 41. And the
Okay.
girls that know of a certain age, some people don't know. They don't remember Aaron Hall when he came out, Peace of My Love, and all of that. No, they don't remember. I still don't remember any girls and stuff like that. I was younger, but I don't remember them running around saying, "Oh, I just want to get with it." Not really.
That's what I was thinking.
Not really.
Who are what?
The
Literally.
groupies, maybe. Who wanted that? Like this.
I had a friend that was in love with Aaron Hall, and I was like,
For
"Girl,
him
why?"
singing, she just wanted him to sing to her, but she didn't really. I bet you if she came up to Leatherface, it wasn't it.
No, she liked him. She was chasing him in New Orleans.
And he ain't gonna get her.
He was on a
Get her.
float, and she was chasing the float.
If she would have ran away, he would have got her.
Oh.
I thought when
And I was
Can I
like,
s-
"Girl, why?"
Can I say something
Exactly.
about Diddy?
So, Apple Cinnamon, quick question though. Do you think, just from being in New York and just the folklore of Diddy, do you think that Diddy has something to be worried about when it comes to the criminal side?
I honestly do, because if you look at everything, when he started, my brain was just rapid firing when I started reading the whole thing with Cassie.
Okay.
And I said, it makes sense because everybody said, like, yo, damn, he jumped on, excuse me, my language, he jumped on Cassie fast, and how he's older than her, but it was like, okay, weird. We all looked at that sideways when the whole thing happened with J-Lo. We always looked at it, but the thing is, he could only enforce and be like that with the women in his life, because I don't know any men outside of the music industry that was scared of Puffy. Why do you think that 50 acts like that? 50 is a street guy. 50 will
Exactly.
smack flames out of
Exactly.
him. I know plenty of guys, like, let that have been their sister or something like that they knew of. They
Exactly.
would have tightened him up real quick, and they would told him take that. They would have tightened him up real quick. That's I'm like, oh my gosh, these girls don't have no,
Facts.
any real men in their life, because they would
Can I
have
say
said, you know
something,
what,
ladies? Sorry.
I'm not waiting for
Wait,
boots.
hold on really quick. Let me just say hi. Thank you. First of all, Plove K says, can you find the video of DMX exposing Diddy too? I'm going to have to look for that video. I didn't know.
Oh, you want to talk about my hometown? My hometown? Do any of y'all remember when Styles P threw the chair at him, and when the locks had to go on for public opinion? Let me tell y'all something. The dude is freaking weird. He's weird. He's weird. He's weird. And then he would invite these same people. What? Bite them to them things, that stuff. And then
The
get the
locks
freak
with
out of there. Okay?
Can I address?
No,
Can I say something about Puffy being weird?
my folk from here. Oh no, we ain't with that. Boy, you can get slapped in the white suit with the cane or whatever. No. And I'm older than him. I'm older than Diddy. I'm older than him. And I remember this stuff. I'm talking about what people don't even remember. The boy was weird. Even Heavy D knew the boy was weird.
But
Can I address the Puffy being weird
please
thing?
address something. I'm just looking for a super chat. Please feel free to address, and then we're going to, because there's someone super chat. Oh, go on. I don't mean to talk over you. Just talking out loud.
But what I'm saying is that he's always been weird.
No, I get that. No, I get that.
Just
That's weird. Jay Truther, why don't you jump in?
It ain't just him. You got to remember, he's a part of the Hollywood culture. There's a reason why they call Hollywood. There's a reason why they call Hollywood weird. So it ain't just him. It's a lot of weirdos. Jay and Will, Russell Simmons. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. He's just a part of the culture. So he's just
Russell out there volleyball.
JT, you're right, because if you looked at something, I was really recently watching something where they were talking about certain people and how when Genuine and Missy and everybody came out, I was watching something with Magoo, about Magoo, and they were saying how Devontae, everybody loved Devontae. They said he was crazy and he was running through the girls. So all of this is connecting. He was running through the girls too, because he was, he was a good looking guy. Everybody liked some Devontae, Mr. Devontae. He was running through the girls, but they said he was on weird stuff too. Like, and when we say weird, we mean like these freak parties.
Weird.
Everything is going on. And they gravitated away from him and did their own thing, Timberland and all of them. But they were staying all together in a house. And he came in, Devontae came in on a power thing, and they said slapped all the men in the room. Missy was in there. They said Tweet was in there. And these are older artists. So it's like, if you go back and you look around and you just see some things with Devontae, he was odd too, but he was hanging, like now we're finding out he was hanging from Aaron Hall. He was hanging out with Aaron Hall, Puffy, all of them. It's just like they were just into all of this craziness. And the other ones weren't. And you can see when those guys, when they say, oh no, see, Puff is not, like they said, look at Fabulous, him and his handsy self. He ran away when Diddy tried to have him with the party. I forgot what his name is with the braids, who had the car show.
How many of them? How many of them? They hauled behind at them things when they realized that they were supposed to be at just a regular mansion party, and that stuff started going on. I know this for a fact. I heard brothers was running out like, what's going on?
They was running out from there like that. It's not just women that were in there, because I'm pretty sure they went in there like, oh, they were probably going there thinking, oh, it's a bunch of girls, easy pickings, we're celebrities. But when they went in there and saw the guys and the things that was going on, they left. They left.
Remember, that's how Cat Williams got blackballed. Remember, he started talking about opening up them doors at them parties and seeing what he saw.
You guys, I just need to interrupt. First of all, I want to say thank you, Azor T. Azor wants us to know that Justin is Diddy's son. So that was just all a rumor. Quincy is Albie Shore's son and Kim Porter's son. Justin is Diddy's firstborn. Okay. Thank you for that. Also, hold on. I just need to see, who did I miss? Victoria. Baby K said, just joined. I love it here, T. And also Scorpio21, thank you so much for the super chat. Victoria said, my mama was like, you think you know a person. I'm like, you do not know that man or woman. She also said, I love your content. Yay. My husband does too, even though he'll never admit it. That's right, Victoria husband. We hear you. My boyfriend's the same way, just listening in the cut, especially if he hears me talking mess on the phone. So he always got to come in and get something to eat. Okay, so then she said, I know he does because he says, baby, twice a day. Okay, there's just one. Okay, one other thing. Everybody says Puffy is a weirdo. Kat Valentine says, if the feds weren't investigating Diddy, I'd be very surprised.
They're not.
Jackson said, let's not forget that dude is a narcissist and he
Yeah,
must
they
control his prey. That's why the young ladies are always 20 years younger than him. I completely agree. Completely agree. Y'all,
And I'm right here to tell you that, yes, that's true. That is so true.
Yeah, they're more malleable, the 20-year-olds.
And you know what? The sad part about it is I'm a Cancer, right? And I could be attracted to a Scorpion, but I will never deal with them. But my father is a Scorpion. And I'm going to tell you something. It's real talk. They have a tendency to be narcissistic. They're never going to make love to you. They're going to make love to themselves.
You know what?
Real talk.
I'll say
I've
this, look.
even listened to my father say,
I'm an Aries sun, but
Hey,
I'm a
that's deep.
Cancer moon. Look,
Yeah,
I'm an
that
Aries sun and I'm a
speechless.
Cancer
I'm
moon
like,
now. I will say this. Look, Cancers, look, I definitely, as an Aries, I'm like, listen, stop being soft. Stop being soft. But the other side is like, listen, I'm a lover, so I just tell people I'm lava. I just feel deeply. But I will say with Cancers, when y'all do get upset, y'all will turn it up and turn it out. And I'm
and
dealing with
sure will. Yeah, you better
But
get
Scorpios are
up
like that.
once we get on, but I'm gonna tell you something, because my mother was a Cancer as well, and my father was a Scorpion. And I am telling you, I've been raised with nurturing, which is the Cancer, and I've been raised with the Scorpion. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you that mix right there. But now I'm gonna tell you what mine is. Mine is Cancer, Moon Scorpion, and Rising Leo. Now, don't I have a hell of a mix? I got 2 fire signs and a sun sign that got me drowned in water. But when I tell y'all that what I'm saying to y'all is true, I'm telling you, I come from where this dude actually made money from. The Locks, Mary J. Blige, and then when he tried it with DMX, that wasn't going to be a wash because DMX was a Sagittarian.
And with it, and look at DMX is
So you
going
be
now.
spreading rumors and pretending like you didn't.
Okay, so listen.
I'm just playing, you guys.
Personally, I don't have nothing against the dude. I just say he's just weird, and he can stay in his lane.
So listen, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on the panel. Anthony, Lisa, J9 Eve, Apple Cinnamon, JR Truther, Mo Shannon, Lita Presley, and of course, Mel NYC Reviews. Listen, J9 Eve, I know you have a channel. Why don't you give that shout out? And does anybody else have a YouTube channel or any channels they want to give a shout out to? Let's start with J9 Eve. Go on, Mama. Promote your channel.
All right. So my channel it's just I am J9 Eve or J9 Eve. Either one you type in, it's gonna come up. Please come over and hang out. I do a lot of live streaming and stuff. It's mostly court-like type, crime, making fun, roasting is what I do basically. And before I go,
Oh, how cute! I just followed you. This is her channel, everybody.
Tisa, I follow her for years. She's really good. She's very, very good. I know Miss J9 very well. She can read. She can roll. She is very good.
Oh yes, very quick on my feet. But Tisa, before I go real quick, have you looked into the ex-boyfriend of Cassie?
Yes, I am. You guys, also last thing, really quick. I have a lot of videos popping up tomorrow I've been working on them. That's why it's been kind of slow today, but don't worry. There's going to be videos dropping. Cassie, Comporter, just some investigation I've been doing so we can like chop it up. And I'm going to go live tomorrow night too. So I will talk to you guys then. All right. So follow J9 Eve. Thank you everybody for joining. And I'll talk to y'all later.
Later, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.